So, like, the first really relevant thing is artifact weighting. What that means is just that, like, when you when you roll an artifact substat, you don't have an equal chance to get everything. Same with main stats for everything that is the flower and
All the
feather.
world holds dear is but a
Um,
backdrop of
Right.
constant
Yeah.
motion.
it's called weighting
I stand
just
before
because
it,
that's what,
alone and
like,
unchanging.
communities have decided to call this kind of, like, stat thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
The heavier, like, it's a one-to-one thing. Basically, like, you have a pool, and every time the game rolls, like, a stat, it rolls, like, a D1000, for example. And ranges of that D1000 equal different stats, but the number of outcomes that are, for example, flat HP is significantly higher than the number of outcomes that are crit, which is why it feels like you get fewer crit artifacts than flat HP artifacts. You just do. You're just more likely to get shit stats.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
The odds basically break down to flat stats are the shorthand version is that flat stats are weighted at 3. Percent stats are weighted at like 2, along with energy recharge, and then crit stats and EM are weighted closer to 1. That's not 1-to-1. There's like, you can find the table anywhere if you look up like artifact stat distributions or stat weights or whatever. This is not like hidden information, right?
Yeah. Okay.
The more stats something can roll, typically the weaker the weightings are. So like circlets can roll everything, sands can roll except ER, but they can also roll crit rate, crit damage, and healing bonus. So the odds of getting a crit stat main on a circlet are really low compared to like getting any of the main stats on a sands. And then finally, there is it's like a 25-ish% chance to get any elemental damage bonus on a goblet. But you might notice that's a 25% chance to get any. So every goblet has it's like a 3% chance or something to generate as a specific type, which is why you will see goblets offset so often. You just don't expect to get an onset goblet. That's just not something you should ever farm for, because the odds of you generating one is just too low.
Okay.
They absolutely happen,
Number
right? They're within the realms of reality. A 3% chance is definitely an approachable chance. It's just, you'll only see probably a couple per account. And then the next least likely is generating a crit circlet with crit substat, which is why circlets are the next most likely thing to offset, and why most builds have an onset sands, flower, and feather.
were you guys talking about what to use as an offset?
Talking about artifact stat distributions before I go through and roll a bunch of Oscar's artifacts and like talk to them.
Okay, are you on Oscar's account right now?
Yeah, I am.
Cash?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Also gonna
So
take.
I was talking about we were debating about what to use an offset, and I told her mostly goblets, and she didn't agree with me.
You are more likely to offset goblets than any other piece, but that doesn't mean like always.
It
Some
has,
people
yeah,
will
it
have.
doesn't have to be 100%. Like if you
No, but
have an onset in goblet, you can use a really cool set as an offset, even a feather would do. But as long as it has like a really decent crit value or something, whatever the thing you need the most. But she's just like, no, ignore Clover. Oscar can vouch for that.
so let's just start looking at what we have. So you're kind of rebuilding from scratch, more or less, right, Oscar? You said there was
He's
a
Eula's fine. He's
Pretty
Eula's kind
much.
of
Yeah.
fine.
yeah. So
But he doesn't give a fuck about artifacts, honestly. If you see his artifact box is full and
yeah, I know,
he
but
doesn't take it off.
that's why we're gonna Okay, so we've got a lot of Pale Flame and Tenacity. We have a ton of boss ones, and then we have a couple like spare ones for their sets. So let's look at let's look at your teams, because to roll pieces like efficiently, you kind of need to know what you're rolling for. So let's look for users
Right.
of the two sets. So like if you want to build D-Luke can use two piece of both Wanderers and Gladiators if the substats are like way better than your Seawolf stuff. Which it is, because I think your Seawolf stuff doesn't really have crit on it. It's just like placeholder stuff with main stats.
I actually need tips about
Yeah, I
Dilulu
think
too,
so.
because I just got
Shimei
Master
is good.
Dilulu.
If you want to equip rifles, it'll be the emblem.
The emblem
that's
stuff.
at the top.
Yeah.
By the way, Cash, is it worth building a C0 Diluc?
I don't think so. I'm
Oh,
not a I'm not a Diluc kid. I mean, I think Diluc is about Yampe's here, so
I'm gonna build him anyways.
go for it. I
For
mean,
no
if
reason.
you want to play him, you should play him, but
Yes, he's cool. I like him.
okay. So we're just gonna go down the list. I'm gonna start with the like most exciting ones, which is like your goblets. Like we were talking about, these are the ones that are least likely to generate, which also means that these are the offset ones, and they're the ones that are most exciting to get because they're the biggest like RNG gate. They're the thing that you like can't target farm. You can even realistically target farm like crit with crit substat like hats given enough time, but you can't say I'm going to get a pyro damage, crit rate goblet this week. Like that's just not there's no way to like do that realistically, right? Not in a single week. So when you have elemental goblets on set, that guarantees that you'll have like a reasonable build for the character. So I'm just gonna start going down. These are the easy ones, but I'm gonna start going down the list of elemental type goblets, and we're just gonna make sure we have any of the good ones locked. So the core is that I want anything with a crit sub. And it looks like you've been pretty diligent about locking the ones that are elemental goblet plus crit sub. This one's missing, but like that's fine.
I haven't gone through
yeah.
Gladiators yet. Yeah.
Okay, physical stuff for you, in case.
Let's see what do we have to compare with. Oh, Yule's on attack goblet. Perfect. So typical rule for a number of characters, this is not true for every character, this is just a guideline, is that a percent elemental damage bonus with like absolutely terrible dogshit unusable substats is worth about the equivalent of 4 crit rolls on an attack piece. Sometimes less, sometimes more, but
okay.
So if you can ever get a physical it's defaulting me.
Physical damage bonus for Eula, right?
Yeah. If you can ever default to a piece with I could have just sorted this by rarity, that would have been the better way to do it. Even one relevant substat, if you don't have a better option, like if I leveled this would automatically be an upgrade. This could be an upgrade without the crit stat.
That's good. Okay.
This one is a really good
we
one.
We are not going to use this. We are going to feed this to another piece.
That would need circlet being better and on type.
Oh, is your
I'm using off type Eula.
Your goblet's
offset Eula circlet.
Yeah. So, and we can, level a piece and just leave it. So the core of it is that when you level a 4-star piece, or when you level a piece to +4, this piece will always +4 the next artifact it's fed into. So like this will become +4 when I dump this old goblin into it. So it's like it's a very easy way to make sure you're not spending too much of your like spare artifact XP. And it keeps things organized in my head, so I do this often. The pieces that are like this, where it's like 1 crit stat, and then like some crap substats, I'm just looking for the other crit stat. If it doesn't hit, I don't care. Yes, if this hit crit every single time, it would be really good. But you have to kind of weigh the odds of like, how many resources am I putting in? How much power am I getting out? And how likely is it to be an upgrade? And so every time it rolls this, it's going to roll like a 1 in 4. And so for this to be good, you would have to roll a 1 in 4 like at least 3 more times, like 2 or 3 more times. Because all the other stats don't do shit.
Okay.
Right,
because upgrading stats is
even
equal roll.
Yep, no waiting once the stats are on the piece.
Yeah,
Despite what people will tell you.
Yeah, Oscar, just offer just raise your standards for a little bit in the artifacts. Don't listen to Ayu. You have a lot of artifacts. She's talking about if you're starting a really noob account. Your account is not noob. It has a lot of potential, just not taken care of.
So we're gonna keep
Yeah.
doing the same thing, right? We're gonna
Mm.
so these two have usable substats. This one is a usable substat but no level, or nothing to level. I tend
Very good
to,
for.
I would probably +4 this, and then treat it the same as the other like pieces. If it doesn't hit crit at +4, it's an automatic break. If it hits crit at plus
Okay.
4, I would level it to 8, but only if I didn't have a better option with double crit. Attack is fine, right? Like it's not a bad stat, and you know, 11% crit damage at this point at +4 is good, but these two have one of the other two stats Eula can use, because she can only use crit, attack, and ER, right? Eula can't use EM, or at least standard Eula doesn't make use of EM.
Yeah, that one. I was doing pretty standard, you know. Physical.
Exactly. Or
You.
you're not doing melt, you're not doing shatter, you're not doing elemental infusion, weird stuff, which is completely fine. Like that works if you want to
You
do
do
it,
it
but
if you want
I
to
am
do
not
it.
C6ing my Bennett.
yeah, fair enough. So this is
I
like
will have a notification
iffy.
forever.
Am probably going to hold on to these two, or I would hold on to these two. You have a substat. This one is ER, which is very nice. This has attack, which is less nice, but it's still there. And more importantly, you just don't have a physical goblet. So this is where it starts to come down to like, I want to be picky, and I want to put the best stuff on your account, but you need to have access to a physical bonus goblet, right? Like that's just a thing that will drastically increase your Eula's damage.
Okay.
Mm.
And so the process will be similar for the other, like elemental goblet types. So we've got one, and all we have to do is beat 2 crit rolls. So EM no crit, 1 crit and EM. EM is always something you want on pyro goblets. It's very rare that pyro characters aren't using EM. You can play mono pyro, but it's like a pretty specific team. And since you don't have C6 Bennett, that makes it weaker. No crit. Here's a crit, so you could roll this. This is like an option. And then, yeah, I wouldn't roll either of these.
Wait, who told you to save this one? The fire damage bonus with the flat stuff. No, not
This
this
one or
one.
this one?
Not below that. Nah, the one under that.
This
Yeah.
wasn't
What the hell?
locked.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was another locked bullshit from IU.
No, it's fine. I mean, it's only
This one
defense.
is
I
fine.
would probably not continue leveling this. It only has one like special stat, and it's just attack. Besides crit rate. Same thing. We're gonna take that +4 goblet. We're just gonna feed it in here, and we're gonna see what we hit. So, if this were
He
able
gets
to
the point.
hit, like crit, EM, and then anything else, that'd be a pretty reasonable upgrade. And you don't have a better pyro goblet right now. It is like offset, but I'm going to leave it. I don't want to get rid of it. I don't want to get rid of elemental goblets. I just don't like getting rid of goblets. What did I just get rid of? Oh. Oh, I see. Okay. So Hydro Goblet, you have no crit stats, no ER. Hydro Goblet's more. You have more supports that want ER. So like, you want to pay attention. Oh, that's fantastic. You want to pay attention to energy recharge on these. Hydro characters also don't use attack
Mhm.
as often. Like, I think your only Hydro characters that you have built
It's
is
got HP.
Mulan, and then like Xingqiu
Hmm.
uses attack,
I'm
but
Oh yeah.
I'm going for Nivelet.
Nuvolet. So he's HP as well.
He's HP.
Um, see. This is tenacity, glad, wanders. So my inclination is just to +4 this. Nice. There you go. So you get a lock. So even if this hits crit like just one more time, I'm not excited if it only hits crit one more time the entire time, but like I would keep that. That's fine. That's like 3 crit rate rolls is like enough to be good for a Hydro Goblet. That's like DPS.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like,
Well, no,
is it
you
ideal?
wanna.
No, you'd rather something better. But right now, you might end up with a lot of Hydro characters. Like, you have Yeon and Xingqiu, both of whom really want a Hydro Goblet because they both do enough damage to be relevant. And then if you get Nivelette, that's a third Hydro Goblet. So you've got a plus 20 one that you can put on Yeon, right? You've got one with ER. You've got a double crit one that you should just level and put on whoever is doing the most damage, right? I'm not going to level this. You can level this whenever you want, because this is, like, very obviously, it's double crit stats already. So we've only got a couple Dendro Cups. These are both good, but I don't think you have a Dendro carry, so we're not going to worry about these.
I do not.
Yeah.
I have Carrara.
Well, I mean, she can do damage, but typically Kirara is, like, she's built like
Yeah.
Zhongli. You just throw triple HP on her. So Electro, we've got one with one crit roll, and then we've got an option, so this is probably going to be at least an upgrade. EM, no crit, and then crit, open stats. I mean, I would probably level the open stat one as well. So EM can be really good for aggravate builds, and then, like... So I'm plus 4ing this because it has the two best stats that aren't crit, which is Energy Recharge and Elemental Mastery. For characters that use reactions, they really want
I don't
EM,
remember.
and then ER is way more valuable than I think people like to pretend it is as a substat on pieces. I would like
Honestly, I just I think Cash is right because I just go for crit stuff. I was like, oh, crit, I'm gonna put that even on my support, because why not?
yeah. So it's like this has no crit, but it has the other three stats that Electro characters want, right? ER, EM, and attack. And like, it sucks to have a piece with no crit, but if you don't have a better option and you want to build two Electro characters, I would keep this locked. I would not feel motivated to use this over a piece with crit, but if you leveled this and it hit like EM, ER, attack, ER, right? And it's like, oh, these are all useful stats, and then this one hits like defense over and over again, maybe you use this, right? Like, that's fine.
Okay, yeah.
I think a core a core rule you can use is that crit stats are worth about twice as much as other stats that are good. So like this piece right now has 3 rolls that are like usable, right? Energy recharge, elemental mastery, and attack, and no upgrades. I would value that like at the equivalent of like 1.5 crit stats, which is why I'm saying this is like as good as this right now. The difference is that every time you hit crit here, this one upgrades by quote-unquote 2, like some arbitrary value that you can use to help understand how good a piece is.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, this means that crit pieces are for your crit characters are going to be better than non-crit pieces, but yeah, they aren't wasted stats if they miss crit. You don't have an Animo carry, you don't have Hazo or Skara or Zhao, so we won't worry too much about this. I'm not even going to use your resources to level them.
Do you have Scar?
I do have
Honestly,
Scara,
Oh, you do have Skara.
and
Oh,
I
there you go.
have all the. I do have all the 4 stars, so I
I
do
just
have
never saw you use them
Hazo.
or level them up or put them on your showcase.
You could build Wanderer if you wanted to. I don't recommend building Wanderer for a lot of accounts, but there's simply no reason to invest in like another hard to build hyper carry when you could
And you have
like you
Yula.
have easier to play
Hotel.
characters and teams.
Yula and Hotel.
Fuck Yale on Utal. Play Yale on Kazuha. Play like play the Vape team. Play Yale on Kazuha Shingcho Bennett or Child Kazuha Shingcho Bennett. Or Xiangling, sorry. Xiangling Bennett. Play Taser, right? Play like Beta Official Sucrose. Like do something that doesn't involve like forcing your way up a very high crit build hyper carry, right? Like Wanderer's here, and he's not a bad character, but he's a hyper
Wait, do you
carry,
have it?
which means you have
You
to
have his weapon?
invest like really heavily into his build. That's a Widsith.
Never mind. Oh, sorry.
Anyway,
Okay.
yeah. So like I would not worry about this character. The other big thing is Yeah, so Farzan is like painful to build before C4. Without this constellation, you need, I'm not kidding, about 310 ER for her. To make her work
Right.
in Abyss. So like you can bring her down to like 240, 230 if you're running triple Animo, but at that point you're missing out on a lot of like other bonus damage because you're running like Gene or like Battery Sucrose or something. That just feels bad. That's just like a wasted team slot most of the time. I guess like kind of Lynette could be okay, but like no. I would not worry about it if you don't specifically want to play the character. He's like fine.
Yeah.
If you pulled Nuvalet, a Nuvalet team would outdamage your Scaramouche team,
I
even
have
if your
Nuvalet.
Scaramouche team. Oh, you do have Nuvalet?
Yeah, you
Yeah.
saw him. He's solo to his
Level
taser. Solo to
70.
his taser.
There he is. Very cool. Okay.
Taser Gene.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Nuvalet Kazuha Beta Official. Okay. Like, that will... Your Nuvalet right now will probably outdamage, like, your Scara with a 50-100 ratio. Like, that's just how characters like this work. Of course, you would need, like, a 4-piece Hunter, but you could put +0 4-piece Hunter on him, and he would probably do similar damage, provided similar talent investment.
Okay.
Cryo. Do you play any cryo carries? Like cryo damage carries, because obviously, like, technically, yes, you have Eula, but that's not what we're talking about. You know what I mean?
So Chungian sometimes, but not really.
Okay. That is a hilariously
However,
good Force RPs, by the way.
You don't have Ganyu?
thanks. I do not have Gani.
Oh,
I want Gani when she reruns.
yeah, maybe soon
I
enough.
was thinking of going for Risley, but I'm not sure.
So
I think I'm gonna. Yeah, I'm done with. I'm not gonna have enough time for Resi, so I'm gonna go for Farina soon.
So
Mm.
so for cryo, there's only 2 real builds for cryo characters, which is freeze teams and melt teams. In melt teams, cryo characters tend to not care too much about energy recharge. They want EM and crit rate and crit damage, and then attack under it. In freeze teams, they don't care about EM at all. They want ER and crit damage and attack, and then crit rate is actually weighted lower on freeze teams because of Blizzard Strayer and Cryo Resonance. 45 crit rate is crit cap for freeze teams, so it's not like super important to run like crit rate stats. So like the piece that I'm interested in here is this one. I'm not going to level anything because you don't have the character right now, and there's no point in leveling artifacts for like characters you don't have yet on your account, right? Because you have too many things to upgrade right now.
Yeah.
So like this is fine. I would definitely keep it. I would not worry about non-crit goblets for cryo. Typically, if a cryo character is not running like a heavy focus on crit, that's because they're not a DPS character.
Right.
Most of the time, like that's
Okay.
like Layla, Diona, those kinds of characters.
In which
And
case, you don't want cryo damage bonus goblet.
yeah, exactly. You want
Okay.
typically an HP goblet, but Chungy's an exception. He's like weird. You can kind of just whichever way you want to play Chongyun is fine because he is just not like he doesn't have a specialty. He's not like very good.
A lot of people will hate
Yeah.
you for
So you can kind
that,
of just
bro.
put him wherever.
Freaking Hunter. No! Why you my precious Pyongyang?
I know. I'm sure he's happy about that. I don't think he would like if I was saying the character was secretly good. And then Geo, you have a Noel? Are you building Noel?
Yeah, I have fairly high Noel.
Okay. So if you at least want to look at locking pieces for the character, you just replace attack in your stat evaluations with defense, basically. So
Okay.
yeah, like it's the same thing where hello, double crit 4 line.
What the?
ER is
Yeah,
good
that
on
was.
Noel, but neither of these. It's not great.
One of them is is gonna land a lot on flat. I told you to, of course, to lock that. I don't know why I just lowers their standards for artifacts.
Yeah, I mean,
I
I
just
don't.
locked anything that could be useful because
No,
locking
it's
it makes it stand
For
out.
me,
And
when
yeah. I
I
don't have a
basically,
clean
problem with
artifacts,
that.
I have to
I
clean
don't
it
think that's a
really
problem.
properly. Even though
Um,
my account sucks, but I just have to push myself through the limits of artifacts to pay off that I don't have a decent signature weapon.
I'll just go through and start going. So yeah, flat defense. Probably not going to keep something without ER and only one crit stat. Noel does need a little bit of ER, especially in non-mono geo teams. Like if you don't have albedo, which I don't think you have albedo.
I do not.
Yeah, then your best fourth unit is typically like an off-fielder in place of like you're playing your geo carry and then Zhongli Goro and then a flex slot, right? Like that's kind of the default for mono geo. Albedo solves
Okay.
a pretty
Yeah.
reasonable amount of ER issues, but or not even that he solves issues, it's just you have a fourth character generating the same damn element particles, so you start to just be like, what is energy recharge? I don't care. Um but with 3, you may end up needing some ER, because Noelle does actually want to burst. She needs to burst 100% consistently. So, like, I'm not enthused about keeping pieces that aren't either really good or have energy recharge. Like, this could miss, and I'm down to keep it, for example, because it still will. You'll guaranteed you'll have at least a couple crit stats, probably. This will hit crit at least once on average, and then you'll have energy recharge. Obviously,
This one
double
is
crit.
yeah, it's
You'll want
really
to at
good.
least plus 12 this. Depending on what your other pieces look like, maybe even plus 16. Even if it keeps
Strong lead,
missing.
yeah.
Just, like, the goal on any, like, piece is, like, 4 crit rolls on average. That's, like, the minimum for a piece being, like, pretty good. So, if a piece can upgrade
Okay.
into crit until it hits 4 crit rolls, like at, even if you miss your
Starting with
first...
3.
Yeah, even if you miss your first 3 upgrades on here, at plus 12, you'll have 2 more rolls left, and it has 1 crit roll and 1 crit roll. So if you upgrade it from 12 to 16, it hits crit. 16 to 20, it hits crit. You've got a fine piece, right? So you keep going at that point.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. And then that's all the elemental goblets. The only other thing is we can actually look at attack goblets because you have Raiden exactly. Not great, but if you can't get a good electro goblet, then you can use an attack goblet. Provided, of course, that you get a crit sands. So it doesn't really matter. Raiden can use like a lot of stats. We need crit, but beyond that, it's kind of up in the air. Depends on a number of things. Depends on whether you want to play her in aggravate or rational or hyper. How much you like value EM and attack. Like in ag, attack might even be better. Obviously, you care about crit. We're really looking for like ideally, yeah, that's good. Like you could level this for Raiden. This is a good Raiden piece. Same thing here. You've got crit rate ER and it's 4-line start, so you get 5 chances to upgrade the stats you want. Not great. They're not great Raiden pieces, but they're good. So they're options if you end up trying to fish for an attack goblet.
Okay. Right.
That is the Raiden piece.
That's
Assuming
good.
that this hits crit and ER, if you dodge the HP, this is like fantastic. This is like worth taking the energy to offset for. It's starting with all the stats filled in. It's got 4-line start, which means you get 5 stat upgrades. So
Right. Yeah.
the potential for this piece is almost as high as pieces get. The only like it's like flat HP instead of a 4th usable substat, but that's not something you should ever like expect to farm for. Like 4 usable subs is very lucky. Block that. I will probably lock anything I see with like ER crit open stat. And I will probably not lock anything else. Let me just go back through and make sure. Attack goblets you can be a little more choosy, partially because you only have one character to roll them for, if that makes sense. I would not keep this because like that EM is just lower on the priority list than ER.
Okay. Yep.
Same here. Like, you're if you want to like really put like some serious grind on the Eula build, your goal is to get a crit main stat helmet and then get off of an attack goblet into a physical goblet.
Right. Yep.
Typically wouldn't lock attack goblets. There are worlds where you could use one. Like, Golden Troop is so fucking strong as a 4-piece bonus that if this hits crit rate exactly, I'm down to say keep it. But like, Troop is just one of the strongest 4-piece bonuses in the game. Maybe it might be in a vacuum the strongest 4-piece in the game. Like, oh shit, no, I didn't mean to do that. Dear God, stop that shit. Hey. Cool. So it's dead. Alright, and now we're gonna look at crit hats. So these are like the Oh, actually, before I move on from goblets, very stupid thing about Genshin Impact is that Elemental Mastery weightings are low because they knew Elemental Mastery was good. For some reason, they decided to make Goblet Elemental Mastery weightings disgustingly low. So you have EM crit damage, you have an EMER. I was looking to see if you had anything like this, because it is worth just having your best EM Goblet locked. It's just, if nothing else, because you can offset it for Viridescent Venerer builds. So like for your Kazuha, eventually.
Yeah,
Okay.
ER
Yep.
there is pretty good.
ER subset on an EM Goblet is
Yeah, my
pretty good.
Kazuha's ER kind of shit, so don't do what I'm
I
doing.
do need to fix Kazuha's Ian. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the core of it is you just put Fav on him, and that solves a lot of your ER issues, but, welcome
Yeah,
to
well, yeah.
solving your problems with
Right.
budget builds where you put Favonius on it. Like, that's...
Actually, yeah, I'm gonna put the umbrella looking thing on. I think. Do
Oh,
I have
yeah,
it equipped? No.
The
the EM one.
the
That works, yeah.
umbrella plus an EM Sands, or sorry, umbrella plus ER Sands is not as good as Favonius Sword plus ER Sands or EM Sands. Yeah, it's
Uh,
better to
Oh, okay.
run an EM Sands and a Fav Sword than it is to farm all the way up to an like a good EM substat ER Sands
yeah,
and
yeah.
run Tokubo.
It's because the ER sense will not solve your ER issues like the Favonius sword.
They solve Kazuo's ER issues about equally, but Favonius Sword contributes to
Ah.
your team ER as well.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that. I
Well,
just know
the
that now.
particles, when you pick up a particle, it distributes a portion of the particle across your entire team. Like, it's not just the person on field that gets energy. So, I mean, this is pretty simple. I'm going to start by just going through and locking every crit rate, crit damage piece. Cool. And then go the opposite direction. We're going to lock every crit damage, crit rate piece. Oh, we don't have very many of those. Unlucky. CDEREM on Wanderer's Troop. It's like, okay. I think if you had a Wanderer's 4-piece user, like a Tainari or a Yanfei or like Melt Ganyu or something, I would keep this, maybe, but I'm going to say no for now.
Yeah, probably not. That's right.
There is also the important thing that, especially at low investments, you kind of have to consider crit rate to be better than crit damage, because characters start at a lower crit rate than they do crit damage. Right? You start with 5 crit rate, 50 crit damage, but your goal is to, like, shoot for a
Right.
1-to-2 ratio of the two stats, more or less.
Okay.
Which tends to end up meaning that crit rate is, like, slightly more useful, especially if you aren't a whale and use whale weapons, like me, so...
Yes.
So, besides
It's kind of
this,
well.
I can
I feel
lock
like
those... What?
I feel like Oscar can be a well sometime soon. I think he's paid some. I don't know. I don't know how much he paid, but he has a lot of signature weapons as far as I see.
I have 4 5-star weapons total, but
We're just gonna
I
start
can be
going
a
through...
bit of a whale, yeah.
So we're just gonna start going through and
Anyway,
plussing up, and then
yeah,
we're just gonna like see how we feel
yeah,
about pieces. So I think for a piece that has crit damage open like this, but has nothing else, unless like
No.
you need good
yeah.
circlets, but because you need offset circlets, I'm not gonna unlock this one yet, but I'm not too excited about that piece. So crit rate, no sub. Well, this could be your Eula onset. This is like a fantastic. This is really really good. So you would need a physical goblet with good crit stats, but like could be your Eula onset.
Yeah, well, which it
Um,
was Pale Flame, it would have been amazing.
this is really good. Crit damage elemental mastery is very hype. You'll love to see it. So that's a good option. Super for sure. Keep that locked.
Okay.
This one is good. Yeah. I wish I have this one for my Technary.
Yeah, HP is a little less exciting, but again, crit damage. Like you keep anything CRCD locked. I'll talk about the logic of leveling these once I've forwarded them all. But...
Yeah, oh, this gets already good.
Do you want to use the little scroll bar on the side? Or...
No, because I'm stubborn.
HP again.
Alright.
Yeah, I don't know. I forget it's there. I'm not used to having to scroll this far down in artifact inventory, to be honest with you. Okay, so these already have like crit damage as a substat. So let's kind of talk about this. In order, your best ones are the ones that have energy recharge, then the ones that have typically elemental mastery, then the ones that have attack, then the ones that have like none of those three. So like recharge is really really good because like especially if you're talking about having a pool of like offset circlets to choose from to put builds together, it's very very valuable to be able to just say, oh, I'm just going to grab a little ER here, grab a little ER from my feather here, and then like kind of fix some of those base issues. The difference between a carry with like 100 ER flat and like 120 ER is often the difference between like 5 to 10 seconds downtime between rotations and being able to do rotations on cooldown.
Okay.
Yeah, it depends on your character, it depends on your teams and your build, right? Like if you're running Raiden off field, for example, you're gonna get more energy on your Eula team than if you're running like, I don't know, Kuki as your healer who is also triggering super conduct, because she just doesn't generate as many particles. That kind of thing. So that's why I would value like ER stuff higher. Besides that, because you don't have many crit circlets, I would feel pretty comfortable 20ing anything that you would use the set for a DPS character with at least 2 hits on crit before 16. And then I would feel arguably I would feel kind of comfortable 20ing like the stuff that's I don't know about stuff that's offset. I would probably level this as well. Attack's not a bad stat, ER's not a bad stat. If you hit like flat twice, maybe you just give up and cry, but like
Yeah, that'll do it.
Oh, yeah, will make you cry, man.
yeah, so
Just
ER,
prepare
really
for it.
cool. Like this is already like I'm pretty sure Eula needs a little bit of ER to make her shit work. So like and yeah, I know there's the Eula mindset of like I want crit damage because I want big number, but oh, okay. Ah, okay. Sure.
Biggie, yeah. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah, there we
fine,
go.
it'll be
You've got a lot of artifact XP, I don't know how much, but
good
point being,
luck
this
so
is
far.
probably going to be a damage upgrade. The damage you'll be losing by not having like a crit damage
What the
substat
fuck? I just
is,
noticed how much more do you have? What the hell?
I mean, if you don't level,
Yeah.
if you don't level artifacts like at
Yeah.
all, artifacts are a big Morris sink, so right. Jesus Christ. Okay, well that's kind of funny. You're probably going to
Wow.
overcap a little bit on energy recharge then just on accident. Not bad.
Awesome.
Yo,
Not a
big
bad thing.
luck here.
So that and the physical goblet is better than what
Which
I
you
have now.
yes,
Wait, does the Eula
almost
have
certainly.
that much?
So we're gonna start by Fizz Goblet, and we're just gonna set her up with something then. So because we have like 20 ER, I don't remember Eula's recharge requirements. They're not high, but they are there. So I'm looking
It'll
for,
be fine.
let's see, how much do we have? So we have 2 ER rolls on the
Crit
sands,
damage.
and then no ER. So we're at like 130 ER. I think 130 is probably going to be okay for her. So like I care more about crit damage and attack. So like I would rather level this one than this one, right? Who are you? Do I let them in?
It's someone who wants to steal his starfish.
Fuck you, idiot. Okay.
Starfish. Yeah, I have to go now. Sorry, my friend came.
All good.
Right.
Catch you later, Clover.
Good luck. Good luck building.
See
Good luck building. See ya.
attack. Cool. Thanks. See you.
Yeah.
See ya.
Later. Yeah, this is like attack is the
So
second best
first roll
stat to hit.
attack.
Yeah. First roll is attack. Second roll is HP, that's fine. You expect 2 misses on average here. Like one attack hit. Like ideally it's, 1 into each stat. Like that's the, perfectly average version of statistics that doesn't exist. But
Well,
even
yeah.
one more crit damage roll and we're like kind of happy. Okay, we're gonna hit HP again. It's fine.
HP is nice for living, though.
It is nice
So-
for living. We don't want to prioritize living because we're playing Eula. You're gonna have a shielder,
Yeah.
and maybe even 2 shielders if you're playing Diona Zhongli like you are now. I just want to do damage. It's like if this hits crit damage, this is where that like comfort with the artifact system comes in, because like I know that I would rather go and check this piece to see if it hits crit. Okay. Yeah. So we kind of have like 2 options to sit on. Wait and look at how many resources you have left. And what's going to happen is I'm going to 20 this, and then if it misses crit damage another 2 times, I'm just going to feed it into this one. But,
Okay.
I mean, you're still at, like, a crazy amount of attack, right? So, Eula just has a bunch of attack. Like, Song is 741 base. That's right, yeah, it is. So you have a ton of attack, which makes attack less useful, so, like, an attack goblet is less useful.
Okay.
We've lost crit so far, or we're about even on crit so far, but you've got the massive like physical bonus that you've gotten from running the Fizz Goblet, and we're still missing like 15-20% damage here, and then 1 crit roll, you like 10% crit. So your crit will even out, but you'll have 40% Fizz bonus basically, and more ER. Jump back into crit circlets. So let's see.
Awesome.
Most of your attack carries can use 2-piece Glad, and a lot of your other characters can use Wanderer's Troop, like 2-piece Wanderers, while you're waiting to like target farm them. So like,
Perfect.
you can use because I think you have
Okay.
attack. You don't have very many subs at all, right? Your crit is really low on Diluc. So like,
Yeah.
going to 2-piece, but having good crit stats. Like, honestly, you've probably upgraded your Diluc's damage by doing that, despite losing Seawaff bonus. We're pretty high on crit because of a... Oh wait, no, you're not even on Serpent Spine. That's right.
Should I be?
Oh, do you have a Serpent Spine?
I have it.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
See, I won, but
Oh, yeah, there you go. Well, R2, but... Yeah, no, Serpent Spine is, like, hella good. Hella good. Now, of course, that
okay.
means that we
I
are
just
now...
saw one of Diluc's constellations which needs him to get hit, which reduces Serpent Spine's extra thing.
So it, like, kind of implies that you don't want to be playing Serpent Spine. Yeah, I got you. No, the core of it is that, like, that 27% crit damage, or the 27% crit rate, is just worth a lot more than the equal, like, attack substat on Archaic. And then...
Wait, so what's his crit rate now?
Well, it's too high right now, compared to his crit damage.
Like
but
100.
Yeah, it's 104.
104. Yeah.
Part of the point is, we're gonna go look at stuff. Ideally, we can find a crit damage, crit rate hat, that he can use. Like, I think this is still sorted by CRCD? So let's do this. So, like, yeah, we have a couple pieces we can try to level. EM, by the way, is fine for vaporized carries like D-Luke. I think D-Luke is not as good with EM as like other pyro carries because I don't think he gets to use it as consistently on his burst. Like he doesn't get to vaporize his burst super consistently because it hits like a whole bunch. But yeah, we can just
Okay.
see what we hit. So like here's attack, and it's like quote unquote kinda onset.
Flat.
Don't know if you want to call it onset for D-Luke necessarily, but like it's not bad. And then we get another glide option here. So I think we have a couple plus forward pieces. Yeah, what is this? Geo damage bonus, misstat. Yeah, there we go. So this is no substats, basically. ER attack, but I mean, we already know we have a good a good CV hat. We have a crit rate one here, so like I'm not concerned with keeping this. Yep, all this. We get EM. I love to see EM. I'm going to save myself some RSI. Scroll with the scroll bar. Attack. Okay, well, probably dodge. Not particularly interested.
Flat attack.
Yeah, yeah, not even percent attack. Exactly. So then we're getting into the territory of like offsetting. I don't know if I want to say like offset your two-piece circlet yet. It's a little. You do have a pyro bonus glide cup, so you could get a
What's the
glad like,
offset now?
Right now your offset is nothing, so you do have room to offset
What
something.
do I have 3 of?
Seawolf.
Crimson Wedge?
Yeah. There's probably some.
That's what you're calling it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, I'm used to like just talking in
Quoth.
like CWOF, which is phonetically Seawolf. Yeah, so like probably offset this to. I mean, yeah, that's an upgrade. You could do that, and then offset the hat or something. Look more later, but very funny looking ratio. Okay. What are we doing? We are probably going to go to Sands first. And then we can come back to Circles when we know how much you're going to be looking at setting up 4-piece bonuses. Oh, actually, you know what we should do? We should just go through and lock things, and then we should strongbox extra stuff. And see if we can put together some builds for other characters. So, Sands have a lot of, like, useful main stats, depending on who they're being used for. Like, your Noelle will use your defense percent ones. Your Yelan, at the very least, will use an HP Sands, though she does really want it to be onset. Noelle can use Gladiator. It's not her best set, but she can use Gladiator. So, like, you're fine with defense percent, right? And then,
Yeah.
there are a lot of characters that want an ER main stat Sands, especially while you're, like, kind of looking at middling power substats, or weaker. Xingqiu and Xiangling are examples of characters that will often end up on an ER Sands. So let's just look. So we're gonna sort by attack. It doesn't really matter which one I sort by. Actually, let's sort by crit damage. That's probably the best way to do this. So HP percent. So it would be offset because you don't have an HP sword user, but CRCD maybe. Defense. This is kind of an OL piece. Definitely an OL piece. There's CRCD Gladiator Sands. We love to see this. Harder Depths, that's a really good child piece. Are you building Tartaglia?
Yeah, I have him level 90 or 80 or something with the rest.
Gotcha. So, yeah, we can move stuff over to him.
I should swap that over.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. This is like probably a 20. So this is really good. Energy recharge, and it's on an EM set. Like, if you're going to build characters with an ER Sands that are like their reaction characters, having Wanderer's Troop pieces with ER and like good crit is nice. You could like. It's not the most exciting world, but there's a world where you can like 2-piece Zhongling into Wanderers if you need to, as an example, to get her like built. I don't know if you're building Zhongling, but I mean you have child, so the answer is probably if you aren't, you should be.
I will eventually.
Yeah,
Sometime.
eventually, of course.
Soon-ish.
Good. I got you.
Soon-ish.
Soonish. And then I
It'll
think we
happen.
start to get into the territory of having to lock pieces. So let's just sort by attack percent and crit, and let's just start looking. So this is an attack percent sans. This would be offset. I'm tempted to say not even worry about like single stat offset stuff. Like, so these are always going to be offset. So we're just going to scroll through, and I'm just going to lock anything that I think I would roll. I mean,
It does have 2 flat stat. Oh,
I'm
oh no, that was
so yeah,
already locked anyway.
my standards are typically very low for sans. Like, if it has a crit stat, I will roll it to +4 to try to get the other crit stat. After that, it depends on how
Right.
down bad I am for a sans on that set. But like, I will
Okay, yeah.
+4 every single one that could have double crit. That's just like kind of a rule I follow.
Okay.
I roll sans very aggressively. Oh wait, no, sorry, that's no stats. So this is where it starts to get into like, is it worth looking for an upgrade for this piece? Because your Eula sans is good. It's like actually good. You have 4 crit rolls and then 2 ER rolls. So it's like, it's obviously it's far from perfect, but like it's very good. This is like, if this was your worst piece, I would say you probably don't want to go back to Pale Flame, because like there's just not, it is statistically unlikely for you to get an upgrade, right? In like a week or two.
Okay.
So I would, you could 4 this, and if it hits crit damage crit rate, you could hold on to it if you wanted to farm for like a really high-end Eula build, but I'd say probably not, because you would have to hit crit on at least 3 of the 4 total upgrades. So it's like, you spend like 50,000 Mora for a chance to spend 300,000 Mora for a chance at an upgrade, and the chance is like a 1 in 32. Like, that's kind of crappy, so...
Not great.
No, not great at all. Yeah, I'm just not a fan of saying like you should offset your sans at this point, because at the worst, like, you don't have a lot of options for sets, but the 2 sets that you do have are 2-piece EM and 2-piece attack, which are like both pretty widely usable. Rarely are these like a character's best set, but they're almost always like a 2-piece you can make use of. So I don't really want to say like lock and roll your HP set sans.
Okay.
It's like what I would roll is like anything like this, right? Actually, let me do that. So I just realized why it's taking so long to find the extra stuff I'm looking for. Hey, I would definitely roll that. So that's 4-line start, ERCD, EMCD, CD, CD, and then we run up to the end. So we got a lot of sans to roll. And it's probably going to be like +4, feed it to the next one, +4, feed it to the next one, right? Like, that's just kind of how you end up going through a lot of these pieces. So that's
Which I do need to do. Yeah.
Yep, you've got a lot of them. So it's just about getting the upgrades, and the builds will not look like refined or great, right? You're gonna have a lot of builds that are on like 2-piece, and it's just gonna have to be what it is. Okay, so we're looking at defense. Your Noel piece is 13 plus. It's like 19 CV. So anything that could reasonably hit like 4 rolls would be better. And obviously she doesn't want Pale Flame. She wants ideally Husk, but Gladiators is fine for her as well. This bonus works on her when she's bursting. So like, we're gonna say just Gladiator sans for defense, because there aren't other characters on your account that use the defense percent.
Okay.
So I'd roll open stat. I would probably not roll this. Doesn't have ER, and it only has 1 stat. It is a possible upgrade, but I'm not gonna say I would roll it yet, especially because like, I don't know, it's not bad to have like 3 subs already. And also because you have this. I thought I remembered we saw at least one of these that was good. You can roll this. You can roll this. So you have like 2 other options.
How does EM affect the crystallized reaction? Is it just like the shield strength?
Just the shield strength. It doesn't do anything else. So,
Okay.
pretty useless.
So even EM on this isn't great.
Nope. Does not. Basically does not matter.
For Noel specifically. Yeah.
Yeah, for Noah specifically, to be fair. Stretching. Sorry. So, yeah, defense is pretty straightforward. HP, also pretty straightforward. Yelan is going to be your only damage, like, your only required onset HP sans. It's Emblem. There is no other option. You've got one. And it's definitely not great. That is... Oh, no, it is not bad. Never mind. My bad. I misread that.
It's crit rate.
Yeah, 3 crit rate rolls. That's fine. Like, ideally you find an upgrade that gets you ER, but if not, is what it is, right? Like, we're living the life.
Or, oh wait, no, HP percent is the
Yeah, HP
main
percent's
stat.
main.
Never mind.
Yeah. I get exactly where you're
I was
going with that.
I was looking in the substats for it, and I was like, what?
We're missing HP.
But no.
This is the
Okay.
HP scaler. Yeah. And then
Right.
for your HP supports, so like Zhongli and Diona, I'm actually not even going to look unless it's onset. Like this, because it's so easy to get an onset sans. You have every time you generate a
Because
piece,
HP is a big
yeah,
weighting.
every time you generate a piece from domain, you have like, so you have a 1 and 2 to get the set you want, right? Like if I go run the Pale Tenacity set, so 50-50 to get the set,
Yeah.
then it's a 1 and 5 to get a sans, a 1 and 5 to get an HP, but that also applies to every piece in that set. So 1 and 5 to get an HP goblet, or 1 and 5 to get a goblet, but also 1 and 5 to get a sans, 1 and 5 to get a circlet. So a 3 and 5. So you're kind of looking at like, oh yeah, you have like a 40% chance every time you jump in the domain to get something like usable, right? And then all you would care about is like an ER substat for Diona, and then nothing for Zhongli. It literally doesn't matter. So I'm not going to worry about sans. Is the like
Yeah, okay.
the core version for your Zhongli, your Diona, your like you also use an HP. Well, Hu Tao if you didn't have an EM one, but Nicolette, but he needs an onset one. So I am gonna look at your HP sands because you have a couple users. Like I just want to make sure you don't have like a hunter HP sands or something sitting around. I don't think you do. This goblet, duh. Very stupid. So you have an attack sans. It's good to have an attack sans on the set. It's just not good for Nicolette specifically.
Okay.
Emblem. Nope. And then like Hu Tao can use an HP sans, but I also don't know how much you want to build Hu Tao. Okay. So this is the big one.
That is a good question. Yeah.
This is the big ones that I think like get dismissed on sans because people see like the main like Ooga Booga stat, which is good, but no. We need to care about EM. It's not always great. There are a couple characters where it's good and a couple characters where it's not, but we should look. It's like we got some EM pieces already saved. So this is very low crit. D-Luke has one, which is good. Arguably really good. Depends on like what your build for him is, but you're using Xingqiu, so that's good. This is just like very obviously an offset piece. Nothing great. This is this is great. I'm glad that you have that locked. That's awesome. EM-ER on the Flower of Paradise Lost set, very nice. EM-ER on Husk. This is the this is like the set least likely to make use of an EM main stat because it's the Geo set, and Geo has no damage reactions. Well, it has Shatter, but we don't talk about that.
Because it needs Hydra and Cryo.
You can keep this saved if you want to just, like, have it, because, like, EM Sands are nice, I guess. Like, these are really good substats, but, like, it is on a set where you won't really be able to make use of it with that set, so... Like, I would probably unlock this, unfortunately. You don't have to. And then Wanderer, obviously, like, you know, it's a 2 PCM, but you have a number of EM Wanderer Sands. Good, so... That part, you've done your due diligence. You keep this and try to roll for crit rate if you wanted to. I'm not, like, super enthusiastic about that specifically. And then ER. Oh, fuck. Thank you, game. You're getting ER Kazuo Sands. That is a lot of crit. That's hilarious. Okay. ER. So ER Bennett Stance is good. You want to have Noblesse, not Tenacity, because the bonus of Tenacity only hits when your elemental skill hits, and it's only 3 seconds. So, like, the 2-piece would
Oh,
be...
okay.
Yeah, the 2-piece buffs Bennett's healing, but you aren't often able to make use of 4-piece Tenacity on Bennett the way you want to. Noblesse's buff lasts for
Three.
significantly longer, so... you put
Okay.
Noblesse on Bennett, and then if you want to make use of Tenacity, you put it on characters whose skills hit, like, multiple times. So Zhongli is, like, kind of the easy, like, example. Like, oh
Always
yeah,
resonance, yeah.
run this guy, because you hold the pillar, and every time the pillar pulses, it refreshes Tenacity. But, like, there's other characters that can make use of it.
Okay.
So, a goal is to get Bennett onto 4-piece Noblesse, so you can get that attack bonus to him. Okay. As for, like, sets where we have this, I'm like Vornashkas is, like, fine. I'm not gonna worry too much about that. Ear on Ocean Hued. You can, yeah, I'm actually down to say you can lock one. Having an ER piece on a healing set can be nice. It's not super common that you want to invest, like, heavily into your healers. But if there's a world where you want Barbara on a team, this sounds weird.
I
But,
mean,
like,
if you want to have a look at my Barbara and Gigi?
yeah, I'll take a look in a sec.
Yeah,
I mean,
because I sort of did
there you go.
a
Right?
bit.
Like, there are not too many reasons to run Barbara or Chi-Chi on a team, but if your account is strapped for defensive units, you can, right? And there are also specific cases where, like, you are just forced to put Barbara on a team because she is a Hydro character and also a healer, and you just need one. Like, you wouldn't love
Right.
to, but,
Okay.
like, you don't have better options. Yeah, keep this. Shime is a 2-piece attack set. So I would probably... This is one where, like, you pick a character to level it for, and then you level it, and if the substats aren't good by +8, you just toss it, because the 4-piece set bonus for Shime does not like energy recharge. Yeah, this is like... Yeah, you already have ER pieces for Tenacity, so I'm just gonna say don't worry about locking this. Wanderers... I'm trying to think who would use, like, 2-piece and 4-piece. Yeah, I mean, you keep anything double crit like that, because you can typically find uses for it. Definitely not... could lock this, if you wanted to. Again, the 2-piece attack bonus can be usable. And then, you're on Blizzard Strayer. Not super common. If you wanted to use Ganyu as solo cryo, you would definitely want to use this. Like, solo cryo in a freeze team, you're running, like, I don't know... what would you be running in that case? Like, Child Yelan or something? Double Animo? I don't know. Point being, you could definitely run an ER stands on a Ganyu if you wanted to, so I'm done to keep this, but odds are you wouldn't use it for a while. It might eventually end up strongboxing it.
Okay.
Let's see.
So we'll keep it for now, but
Yeah, exactly.
got
And
plenty to work with otherwise.
now we are on flowers, which means you don't have to sort by main stat. We can just feathers. So obviously we're gonna lock everything double stat. Like, that's just kind of straightforward. Like, you want crit. Actually don't know if you would ever use Lava Walker. So feathers you almost always want to keep. You want to be using the set bonus. Double crit is very valuable, and, like, you can try to get god roll pieces. If they're 4-line, I always keep them, because I just think it's kind of fun to shoot for, like, the insane pieces where it, like, hits crit 5 times. But like, I have a couple builds where I offset my feather or flower, but I would not expect for you to be able to do that comfortably. So unless you want to build 4-piece Lava Walker and go, like, Mono Pyro for your D-Luke, I would not keep these. Which begs the question, do you ever want to play Mono Pyro?
I think it's strange, but well, what would it be?
It's
D-Luke,
Pyro.
Bennett,
It's on-field Pyro carry plus
Xiangling.
exactly Zhongling, Kazuha, Bennett. That's, like, the team.
Oh, Kazuha, okay.
Yeah, so Kazuha applies VV and gives your whole team a Pyro bonus. Bennett batteries and buffs the rest of the Pyro units. Xiangling gives Pyro, Defense Shred, Pyro buff, and does a bunch of Pyro damage, and then your on-field, like, drives the team.
Okay.
Monoparo is like very playable. Like it is not like an off meta thing.
It sounds strange still, but
It
hmm.
feels a little strange to play a mono element team until you try it. But like,
I mean, I'm a Eula main, so main, whatever. I don't know.
yeah, I guess that's a
I
zero
play
element
Eula,
team.
so
But
yeah.
um,
Well, Super Conduct, but
yeah. But aside from
otherwise.
that, like you're doing physical. Anyway, point being, you could definitely try this if you wanted to.
I'll keep my options open.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I will save the love walker stuff, but you definitely don't have to feel like you have to roll it. Oops, I meant to click this. There we go. So obviously, yeah, like I said, we'll lock all the Oh, did this miss
Double
every
crit.
single upgrade? That's fucking depressing. Lock all the double crit ones. That's funny. Your Chi-Chi has like a 30 CV feather. Okay. 35. So we've got Elons, Raidens, and now we're getting into single stat. Okay. So for feathers, because you have so many like playable double crit options here, what I'm going to say is we're going to keep 4-line crit plus 2 stat and 3-line crit plus 1 stat. We're going to look at rolling, and then crit plus 0 stat depends on the set. We're not going to roll non-crit feathers for any of the DPS stuff. Or we're not going to keep any crit feathers for the non-DPS stuff. So we're just going to sort by crit rate.
The 2 stat, 1 stat, 0 stat. That's what attack EMER.
Basically, yeah, it's like, it depends on what the set is. Like, for, what do you call it? For Husk of Opulent Dreams, that would be defense, ER. That's pretty much it. And then for,
Okay.
like Heart of Depths, it's, like, ER and attack and EM and crit. And then, like... So it depends on the set, because it depends on who you're rolling it for, because feathers you do have to kind of keep on set for good builds most of the time.
Right. Okay.
So yeah, the general rule is EMER attack, and then I would discount all flat stats, and then like percent HP, percent defense for a lot of these. Because you just won't, you just don't have HP scalers that use the set. I also don't give a shit about crit on Virtus Inventor. That's like not something I'll ever care about. Well, that's not true. Crit is nice to have on Virtus Inventor, but your priority in order is energy recharge up to your cap, and then elemental mastery as much as you can possibly get, and then crit if you can find it, right?
Because Swell doesn't crit. Yeah, I'm good.
You actually have like a really good glide feather as well, so like, or not really good, but you have like, I mean, this is like 27 CV, so this is like, to match this, something has to upgrade and crit 3 times. I'm kind of tempted to not keep like something like this. I will roll them. I will roll the versions that can hit double crit. I will roll every single one that can hit double crit, but like something like this, I'm not going to keep. Say, ER is definitely worth more than crit rate, but I don't know how much more. I'm like kind of tempted to just not keep these. You have a lot of pieces. Like we're not strapped for options, at least right now. You'll have a much better idea of how strapped for options you are after we go through +4 and delete a whole bunch of pieces.
Of course, right.
Right, of course.
Okay.
It's our child feather right now. Oh, this is quite good. Honestly, I feel like we need HOD pieces. I'll keep this because it has crit, but like, you probably just 20 this. I'm like very
So
iffy.
that sorry.
I'm like very iffy on
Oh,
getting these
those.
two. Like, fine. Do we have a good Wanderer's Feather? I don't think so, actually. Okay.
Okay,
We
so
can...
Child's current feather
Yeah.
versus the +0 one up top.
Oh, this, yeah. So...
Which one
Uh...
would be?
I mean,
That's pretty good crit damage.
you have to level both of them high to see which one hits better, right? Like...
Yeah.
It is just dependent on how the stats roll at this point, because they have the same stats, which is ER crit image, so... You just, like, you level this one up to,
Yeah.
like, probably you level them both to 20 and pick one, and then the other one is just, like, offset or something. Or like, there's a world where it's good enough and your emblem pieces are weak enough that you 2-piece Heart of Depths your Yelan. So that's an option too.
Okay.
It's not great to do,
Yeah.
and you want to get back to 4 emblem as quick as you can, but like, you can do it. You can do it if you want to. If your emblem pieces
Yeah,
are really
alright.
bad, you can do it. Okay. So for Noblesse Oblige, this is a support set, so we don't care about crit rolls. We want ER, and then HP for Bennett, attack for Shinha. There are characters where you want crit on Noblesse, but you don't want it without energy recharge. ER is like the only stat you care about on Noblesse. If it's not there, you don't even consider the piece, like the vast majority of the time.
Because the whole 4-piece set is burst.
Yeah,
right?
all you
Okay.
care about is bursting, and typically Noblesse holders also happen to have high energy recharge requirements. Like Bennett tends to want about 200 ER, though it depends heavily on the team. Sometimes he wants more, sometimes he wants like a lot less. Yeah, he's a thirsty little bastard. Shenhe also sits at like 220 ER. Like I think mine's on like Favlance plus 210 ER, and I'm like barely able to burst on cooldown.
Oh, alright.
So like for actual full freeze teams. Also, speaking of, this is like a really good like thing to keep in mind. I've probably mentioned this, you've heard me say this, but like I'm not kidding when I say Fav is the best weapon on a majority of these characters until you have a certain level of investment. Fav is better than Freedom Sword on Kazuha. Fav is better than Calamity Queller on Shinha. Run Favonius weapons. They are that good. So, just so we're aware, like, they are actually that good. I'm not exaggerating when I make jokes about it when I'm talking about, like, builds and stuff. Yelan, iffy compared to a lot of the other characters that can run it. She likes Fav, but she's one of the few examples of a character that does so much personal damage despite being able to run Fav that you want to get her off it if you can. Yelan's...
And with C1.
Do you have C1?
Yeah, that helps.
That's right, you do. Yeah, so this lowers her requirements even more, so it's like, you're pretty unlikely to run Fav if you can get a good set together. Because the core of it is, yeah, that she just does, like... I feel pretty comfortable saying too much damage. She's just, like, overstated. Good for her. Love that. But, like, what's up with this? Is it 18% max HP scaling? You get this, like, 12 times? So her base damage of her burst is, like, 300% max HP or some disgusting shit? Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah, 3 per hit.
Yeah, 3
right, yep,
per wave, and you get between 12 and 15 per burst usage. Or 12 and 14 per burst usage, so... Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
Basically what I'm saying is Yelan's really balanced. This is the only other character where, like, you can run Fav but don't want to. Like, it's good. It solves your problems until you get a better weapon and a better set. But this is, like, the character that does... This is, like, the only support character that can both run Fav and does more damage than Yelan. Like, she's, I see UFC 4, UFC 6. Yeah, her damage is completely disgusting. And it is for reasons that both do and don't make sense on paper. Like, her scaling on her talent is high, but this doesn't tell you how many times it hits, and it doesn't tell you what its actual damage is because of ICDs and snapshotting. Do you know how Xiangling works? Do you know why she's so good?
I'm hearing letters.
Okay, great.
ICD, snapshot, whatever, yeah.
Do you know what ICD means?
No.
Okay, this is very easy to demonstrate, actually. I'll just go show you.
What does it stand for?
Internal cooldown.
Just do the team it's on. No.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
It's just like, it looks like it was just a way for you to, like, sort your characters.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really matter who we run for this. I'll just, like, bring out some characters.
You want me on your team?
So here, we'll go show you. So internal cooldown is a mechanic that Genshin uses because if every attack you used triggered every elemental reaction every time it could, the game would be way too easy. So
yeah, so that's why Yelan and Xingqiu are both used with Huta sometimes.
Yeah, the short version is yeah, the long version is not quite, but yes, like yes and no. The way that internal cooldown works is that the game automatically doesn't apply elements a majority of the time when you hit things. What that the actual math behind it is most of the time when a specific hit applies an element, so like my normal attack, I have to wait 2.5 seconds or 3 instances of damage from that attack to do it again. So if I hit the flower 1, 2, 3, I only did damage to it once. And if I go, I'll wait until this guy doesn't interrupt me.
Oversight on my part.
Let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. So we broke the internal cooldown. It was slightly faster than 2.5 seconds, but we still reapplied the element.
Oh, with the shield. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm paying attention.
So there are part of the reason that Xingqiu and Yelan are so crazy strong is because they just cheat internal cooldown. Because for some reason, the internal cooldown on their like burst hits works the same as auto attacks. 2.5 seconds or 3 hits. But their bursts hit 3 times every time they hit. So you get to reapply Hydro once a second. So
Okay.
like Xingqiu applies Hydro every time you auto attack, or every time his waves trigger, which is once a second, and then also every 2.5 seconds while he has the rain swords around him. So Xingqiu applies a disgusting amount of Hydro. Zhongling's burst has no internal cooldown. It does not ever not apply Pyro, which also means that it does not ever not trigger Vaporize. So if you have a lot of Hydro application with a Xingqiu or a Tartaglia, where you're constantly kind of cheating internal cooldown or just doing enough instances of Hydro that there's always Hydro on the enemy, Zhongling's burst will hit Vaporizes 100% of the time, which means that this talent mastery is closer to twice this, provided you build the team around her. And a talent scaling of almost 400% or over 400% at like the talent level 12, 13, that hits like 12 times is completely disgusting. That is like a wild amount of damage, right? So
Okay.
that's why. That's also why you'll see Zhongling used as a pyro applicator for certain things, because like a Meltgon is a good example. Because her burst has no internal cooldown, she is the most consistent off-field applier of pyro for characters that want to use it. Her burst cost is really high, but her damage is so high that you'd rather just invest into her more than your main DPS and just use her as your main damage instead. You can very feasibly get Zhongling's burst ticks of damage well past 50k. The other reason is because of snapshotting. In Genshin, when you have a buff on a character when you use an attack, there are only 2 ways that it can be processed. Either the attack hits, and every time it hits, it checks your character's current stats, or when it's used, it checks your character's current stats, saves them, and then uses those stats every time it hits. So if you give a character a bunch of attack, then use a ability that hits a bunch over 10 seconds, is it going to keep using that attack when that character loses the buff? For Zhongling, the answer is yes, because her burst does that. It's called snapshotting. The interaction that you care about here is Bennett. That's the one that matters. So Zhongling she has really low attack, but she gets EM as a scaling stat. She runs Emblem of Severed Fate, and polearms you can run like Dragon's Bane, you can run Homa, the Catch, all these other things that give all this like percent damage. And then you stand on Bennett Burst, and he triples your fucking attack because he's broken. He doesn't triple your attack, he like doubles it. And then you have this character who can take all of these buffs that last varying amounts of time, press a button, and save them all for 14 seconds, and then double their damage. So, when you put it like that, it's like relatively easy to see, oh, that's what's wrong.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. She also, the other big interaction is that she can save Kazuha's percent damage bonus. This is 8 seconds, but Zhongling's burst lasts for 14 seconds, and she can use it even if Kazuha's been off field for a long-ass time. Right, you use Kazuha at the start of your rotation, switch to Bennett burst, then switch to Zhongling, This only has like 3 seconds left, but she presses burst and she sees the buff for the entire 14 seconds of her burst duration.
Okay.
Um,
Awesome.
she's a little bullshit. She's a little broken. And you
We
use
love
her
to see it.
in every team where you can use her, basically. There's like... There isn't a reason to not use Xiangling except for the reason of your goal is to have fun and not to be efficient. If you want to be efficient, you probably use Xiangling on your account. Same with Xingqiu, same with Bennett, same with Kazuha. Anyway, that's internal cooldown and snapshotting.
Okay, cool.
Oh, and just super quick, but some other characters and whether they snapshot or not. Xingqiu and Yelan's bursts do not snapshot. They don't, so you can use their burst like before a Bennett burst, it doesn't matter. Fischl Crow
Yeah.
does snapshot. Rosaria burst does snapshot. Albedo's flower does snapshot. To give you an idea, like it's kind of 50-50. The more recent a character is, the less likely they are to snapshot. I think they've been trying to figure out how to get Xiangling out of the meta because she's free, and they don't want you using free characters at the top level content.
Yeah. Okay.
Shouldn't have fucking done this then, huh, idiots? Anyway, okay. Okay. I think we were somewhere around here when I was going through feathers before I got distracted. Oh, hey, there you go. And I'm locking these because before I level anything, I want to strongbox your extra pieces.
Okay.
And there's a reason for that. Yeah, I mean, everything. Follow the rule. Ah, here we go. So this is only one crit stat, but it has the 2 other stats. This would have to hit crit a lot. Like, I would probably want to hit crit on +4 or it's gone. But, like, this has the 2 other good stats TM, so worth at least giving a shot. And then we'll get a crit damage, do the same thing. And we're going to use this for flowers, too. Flowers have the same stat distribution as feathers. They just replace flat HP with flat attack. Right? Like, you can't roll flat HP on a flower, can't roll flat attack on a feather, but otherwise, the concepts are the same, so process will be the same.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. ER attack? Maybe. Probably not. Only one useful, like, spare stat, and it's not the, like, slightly stronger ones. Okay, cool. So that's flowers, or that's feathers, and then flowers. Let's sort... Right. Go through, look at everything. Don't care about Ocean Hue. Pretty crap side stats. Yeah, pretty crap. Lock. Yeah. Ooh, hey, let's go. No. Yeah, ER attack. Great. EM attack? I could roll that. Not super excited about it. Less excited to roll that. EM, no other stat. Yes. And absolutely. Defense crit rate.
We did.
What's up?
What for Noel?
Oh, for yeah.
Husk as well. Okay, yeah.
Husk is it's her best set if you can get her Husk. Like if you actually want to build her, you would go farm Husk for like a serious period of time. Glad is good on her.
Okay.
It's like her second or third best set, I think. But like Petra's fine for like team setup. Bullied's good, but I believe that Husk tends to beat it out. Because you get this stack thing, whatever, all this is just requiring you to deal geo damage consistently to use the set. But it's like almost impossible to lose stacks of this. So all you have to do to read this effect effectively is just multiply this and this by 4 and say that's your entire set bonus. It really is active for about 95% of the time you're playing the character.
Okay.
And 24% geo bonus and 54% defense is like it's a pretty crazy bonus. Oh, let's go. Okay.
Attack crit, yeah.
Yeah, attack crit on a set where those substats really matter. It'd be a little annoying to go through and unlock these, but I would rather strongbox before I roll pieces. So. Okay. This is Ooh, okay. So I think that's everything locked. So we went through stuff pretty consistently. You don't have pieces for the support sets, which is the like you have like a couple, like 1 or 2 noblesse pieces, a couple tenacity pieces, like 1 or 2
Got a
VV,
few tenacity and then
and then you have basically nothing from this domain. So I'm not looking nearly as aggressively at like ER and EM. Those stats are good on Flowers and Feathers. It's just for the support sets, right? The support sets are all the stuff where your character is like pressing a button to like perform buffs or debuffs or whatever and then switching back out. So like if you're farming a Deepwood set, you really want to pay attention to EM, ER, Flowers and Feathers. But for what you have, Wanderers and Gladiators, those are like those are damage dealer pieces, so I'm not worrying about that. That's why I'm not like sorting by anything that isn't crit.
okay. Yep.
Okay, so here's the part where we have to actually seriously think about account direction, because we're gonna burn a bunch of stuff into the strongbox. So
Yeah.
Rule I follow, it really doesn't matter what you strongbox as long as it's useful. Except that if you have a domain where you want both the sets, so like if you want to get a 2-piece maidens, you don't really want to strongbox either of these because you can be resin efficient and just run both, right, at the same time. But
Same with Pale Flame and
Pale Flame Tenacity,
Tenacity,
yeah, if
yeah.
you're like if you want a 4-piece Tenacity for like Zhongli and you don't have one, yeah, Pale Flame Tenacity is good because you play Eula, right? And then the other one that's like really obviously resin efficient is Emblem Shime. Shime is like fine. 2-piece attack is fine, and then 4-piece Shime is good on Hu Tao, it's good on Yoimiya, it's good on Yanfei, it's good on a couple other characters that I'm not thinking of right now. Anyway, and then Emblem is like the best set in the game. So or one of the 2 best sets in the game. Greatest Inventor is the other one. But like if you ever want to play a Thundering Fury character, Thundersoother's good, but only if you want to play exactly a Thundersoother team, right? So probably you're going to strongbox these. Unless you have Ganyu, you're probably strongboxing Heart of Depths, right? That kind of thing. So
Crimson Witch of Flames is something to strongbox.
Abso-fucking-lutely. Abso-fucking-lutely. Lava Walker is on average worse than
Everything?
Thundersoother. No, it's Mono Pyro is a good
okay.
team. It's just you're less. So Thundersoother can be used in aggravate teams as well, and in taser teams, because they keep Electro. The short version is they keep Electro Aura on enemies, so you can get the Thundersoother bonus like 100% of the time on like Yai or Fischl. But
Okay.
You can't do that in like vaporized teams with Lava Walker. So you only want Lava Walker for Mono Pyro on your main DPS, which is like, that's like really specific, right? But
Yeah.
Seawaff is crazy strong, so you end up strongboxing Seawaff. Speaking of, who do we want to work on? So we're not going to strongbox Eula because she has, obviously her build's not perfect, but like you have good enough stuff. You don't need to worry about Eula. You need to worry about your second team and like other stuff you want to play that's fun, and then you can start streamlining. We don't care about Eula yet.
Yeah.
Your other options. Nivelette, we can't strongbox because his set is like good enough that you should just go farm it. Like you should not like settle. Marechaussee Hunter, whatever, however the fuck you say it. It is that good. Raiden
Okay.
is a strongbox target. Child is a strongbox target. Diluc, fuck ever. Hu Tao, Kuching. And then obviously the fucking unholy trinity of Yelan, Xingqiu, and Xiangling, who all use Emblem. So you have a lot of options. Who are you interested in of those like characters? Like Raiden, Child, Diluc, Hu Tao, Kaching, your Emblem carries.
Yes. Yes.
Yes, all of them?
Yes.
Great. Let's just I mean,
Which to begin with,
so
honestly, who will get me through 9-starring floor level, but yeah.
then we're gonna do Emblem.
Okay.
You've probably heard me say like, oh yeah, just go farm Emblem Smile. Oh, I didn't see that. Like, I wasn't joking. You actually like the vast majority of people. Oh wait, this is a goblet. Don't care. HP. Okay. No EM. Being a little more, I'm making sure, especially for these kind of like offset-y pieces, this could actually be usable in some way. No, it couldn't. I lied. I'm coping. Crit rate, no crit damage sub. Healing bonus on an HP piece with ER. Actually, I might. Healing bonus onset is like, it's not super common. So, say lock it. Like, you could put this on Diona, for example. You don't have to, but you could, right? You could offset this on Barbara if you put like double HP on your, if you get onset, like Sans and Goblet, right? I don't know. Options.
Yeah, okay.
So keep it for an option. Your hunter stuff, not good. That's okay. Defense on an HP set, don't care. Don't know how I missed that. We're gonna keep that. Oh yeah, because I was I didn't see the set, but this is why I'm going through a little more slowly for everything that isn't Gladiator and Wanderer. This would have to have something else on it. Blizzard Strayer exactly is like a little more interested in attack pieces, but you really want a cryo piece for like lower value. I missed that. I should have seen this already. Interesting. Okay. Defense. Nope. 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 And we start getting the kind of crappier sets. Nope. 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 I mean, this is the 2 stats you want for Maiden Beloved, so if you're rolling Maiden Beloved pieces, I guess we can keep this. Why not? Like, right now, you're not losing opportunity cost by locking pieces, right? So, like, these are the only 2 stats that you care about for healers. Energy recharge to get your burst sub, HP so your burst heal more. That's about it. So we're just gonna start strongboxing Emblem.
Okay.
Fizz bonus, no crit. Okay.
I
fucking, you love to see it. There you go. This is the other option, I guess. HP. Crit, 1 sub. ER is really, really good on emblem pieces, but that's not very good. Not good. EM, Circlet. I'm not a... It's, like, not bad, but that would be, like, a cope option. I'm not a fan. I think we'll probably see at least 1 crit Circlet before we're done. ER crit rate. ER emblem piece. Yes. ER emblem. Attack crit emblem. Yes. Crit ER emblem. Great. Okay, so we got some options. And now we're just going to keep going. Ta-da! Okay. Attack, nothing else. There's a crit. Crit ER. So for Emblem, I will lock crit plus 1 stat, if that 1 stat is energy recharge. For Flowers and Feathers. Healing bonus. The only thing that Emblem doesn't really do is heal. Like, you don't really have healers run this set, so... Not attack circlets. I would not run attack circlets on Emblem, unless you get ER subs. ER, no crit. ER, no crit. Hey, that could be great. Oh, but that could be better. Hell yeah.
Was that attack though?
Hell yeah. What?
Was it a flat attack though? With
It says flat
the
attack, but
good
it's
one?
attack percent. This one is flat attack, but
Don't.
still,
Yeah.
it's a
Okay.
4-line start with double crit and ER.
Yeah. So that'd be quite good for riding.
Yerp. Hydro bonus. Ooh. Yes, that's
Good crit
really
damage.
good. You might have noticed both Yeon and Xingqiu would want this, so it's really nice to have one because it makes it way easier to set up your builds for them. You can offset one of your circlets. Pyro
Even though
bonus.
2 flat stack.
Yeah, the flat stats suck, but for goblets you can't be too picky.
Okay.
Like same here. This is like fine. You want to keep on-set goblets for emblem more than for any other set. No crit. Yeah, no crit. Okay. 1 ER roll plus crit, ER roll plus crit. And a lot of these feathers that I'm locking are going to get +4 miss crit. I'm going to be like, probably not worth keeping. That's okay. Crit EM, EM ER crit. Yeah. Okay, and then last emblem run, because I'm pretty sure we've got... Yeah, we're good. And then we can focus in on something else after this, but... Sorry, I'm trying to get it... There we go. Get it to do that. And... Yeah. Open crit. Open crit. Double crit. No crit. No ER and only 1 crit. Defense. Crit rate, open stat. There's crit rate helmet. We love that. Defense.
Crit damage.
That's the fucking Yeon piece, baby. Let's go!
With HP. Okay.
Yeah, crit damage ER HP. So, I wouldn't worry too much about the HP stat. If this ends up being really good, it's probably just your Raiden hat, and it is what it is. Your Raiden's damage does matter more than your Elon's or even your Xiangling's. It's close. But if you end up getting a number of circled options, yeah, this is like fantastic for Elon. EM crit rate, so Xiangling can use this, and then there are situations where you want an EM Sands for other emblem carries. It's not super common for Xiangling to use an emblem Sand or an EM Sands, but because she ascends with EM and you can put Dragon's Bane on her and all this, so. But I'm gonna lock this. May end up using it. HP. Oh, okay. And there's an option for Yelan as well. Okay. So, for now, and of course, like, we're not going to finish farming any builds right now, probably, but good for now.
Yeah.
So, realistically, odds are pretty good that if I wanted to 36 star on your account as quick as possible, I would just run the Noblesse domain a little bit, get Bennett a 4-piece Noblesse set, and then use your other, like, 500 artifacts to Strongbox Emblem, and then just farm it for a week or two to level the pieces. But that's not the only way to go about it, and you like other characters.
It's a realistic number.
What?
I thought 500 was, like, an exaggeration, but no, that's what I got.
I think so, give or take, yeah. I think that's, we used, so you had about 1,200, you got about 970 left, but we've been locking a whole bunch of them, and then...
Yeah.
You got a bunch of artifact XP down here, too, so, yeah. I would say probably about 500 of this is, like, unlocked Strongbox fodder. 400, maybe. Okay. So, we can pick something else, like, Emblem is really, really good, but you have other characters you like. So, like, do you want to Strongbox Heart of Depths for Child? Do you want to Strongbox Seawolf for Diluc? Do you want to Strongbox Thundering Fury for Kaching? Do Seawolf for Hu Tao? Like, what's...
Probably... Yeah. Seawolf, yeah.
Seawolf? Okay.
I don't want to say Seawolf or Quaff.
Wolf. Yeah, either one. It's Bastard set. That's what it is. Are you looking at Diluc or Hu Tao more? It doesn't really matter, but it kind of changes how much you care about attack versus HP subs.
Okay, yeah. I have spent more time using Diluc.
Okay. Oh, you do have Homa. Ooh.
I do have that now, yeah.
I will say, since you have Homa, even at C0, even at C0, Hu Tao will blow Diluc out of the water, damage-wise. So, if you don't have a particular lean towards one, Hu Tao will do way more damage.
I suppose that'll take it. Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
Just out of curiosity. Yeah, okay. I figured you'd probably have some mats to go. Like, Hu Tao Vape is like, it's a pretty specialized team, but like, it fucks. It does a lot of fucking damage. It does a lot of damage. So, let's do some Crimson Witch strongboxing. Alright, see if we can get anything. So we are looking for, stat priority is crit rate over crit damage, because Hu Tao ascends crit damage and Homa is crit damage. So crit rate, then crit damage, then EM, then HP. ER is like nice, but Hu Tao doesn't care about it too much. You don't have to burst every rotation. Mostly care about getting enough stats to make the build work.
But also, saving anything that might end up going to D-Luke as well.
Yes, yeah, which is why I'm going to keep that. I probably wouldn't keep this if I was farming a Homa Hu Tao just on my own, because it has no HP, no EM, no crit rate, but, like, good enough. We're also still looking. No. Crit rate EM, I would roll this to 4, see if it hits one of these two stats, maybe keep going, but, like, depends on how down bad you are for stats, right? Healing bonus and HP we don't care about. Crit rate, nothing else, I don't like. Crit rate EM, that will, same thing, roll, see if we hit a stat. HP plus nothing, don't care. HP plus no crit, don't care. Attack plus no crit, don't care. This is, like, something you can roll for D-Luke if you want. I don't think it'd be great. Yeah.
Alright. At the end of Gladiator.
So we've thrown like 150 something glad pieces in, I think, give or take.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, there we go. Very cool. Nope. Like,
Maybe
could be a D-Luke piece. It would have to get really lucky. You're throwing this away if it doesn't hit crit damage at 4, probably. Oh, bless.
Oh,
okay, a lot of your problems are solved then, because this is always the thing that you're most worried about, is hitting a double crit hat, and then you've got EM on this as well. That's great.
Awesome.
Attack, yeah. Crit rate? Yeah, crit rate. Nope. Let me just make sure these VV pieces aren't anything we want to keep. Oh, I'll keep that. Sure, why not?
See if it rolls.
Yeah. It's like, it's nice to have as many like offset options as you can for circlets, even the offsets. Oh, that's pretty good. Keep that. Now obviously this would be an offset piece, but like double crit elemental goblet is like always, that is always a lock, always a roll. This is only one crit stat, but it's also energy recharge and attack, so that can be nice. Defense, crit rate, ER, attack. It's actually worth keeping a crit rate hat without crit damage. Hu Tao, you may just end up needing the crit rate that badly. Crit rate onset hat is typically the hunt for Hu Tao players. Like, this is the hardest thing to get. Pyro Goblets you'll end up with over the course of time farming. Hey, there we go. 2 subs. 2.5 subs if you count flat attack. I fucking know. 2.5 subs if you're coping. A lot of very mid stuff here. I don't know whether an EM Sands with no crit is strong enough to lock. I would roll this. So I'm gonna lock it so we don't like actually strongbox it or something, but like, kinda sucks. And last roll. For now. Dendro 1 open. I mean, I'm very greedy with locking goblets. I would always be greedy with locking goblets because they're rare. It's not uncommon to get an elemental goblet, but each individual elemental goblet is rare. So, 1 stat, healing bonus, attack, HP. Maybe. Hell yeah. It's also 4-line start. So this is the 2 best Hu Tao damage substats, the best Hu Tao main stat, it's onset. Crit damage open sub.
Want to roll.
ER crit damage open sub. Yeah, just it does have to roll, but like, odds are you probably keep this no matter what. This is probably your Hu Tao's hat. It's like, it is good enough at base that you're probably just good. So actually, let's just look at like options. So start by Crimson Witch, which we now have like fucking almost 90 of. Okay. So for
Okay.
flowers, these are probably going to be flower and feather are probably going to be very like role dependent.
Right.
Most important stat is like in order it's crit rate, then EM, then HP, then crit damage probably. It's like crit rate, great. So like it would be something like this. We have lots of options. Same thing here. Like you don't care about attack very much on her. I can explain why if you're curious.
I would like to hear that. Yeah.
Sure. So attack percent only affects base attack, which is attack from the character and the weapon. Hu Tao has an abnormally low base attack, and the reason that that is okay is because Hu Tao has a massive amount of attack bonus from her skill. This attack bonus is affected by HP and not attack, and the ratio is high enough that your HP bonus from this skill is, or your attack bonus from the skill is always more than attack bonuses from just building into attack normally, even without Homa. And then Homa is like even more of a reason to build HP instead of attack. But
Yep.
at its core, flat HP is just very not useful. Or flat attack, or attack percent is not useful on Hu Tao. There we go. Because her base attack is really, really low, and her attack translation, or her attack, her HP to attack ratio is very, very high.
Yeah.
She ends up with,
I get it now.
yeah. She just ends up with so much attack from her stat, from her skill that you just don't care about anymore. Actually, you can even see, like, her base attack is 400 with a level 50 weapon, which is pretty low. But it's Homa, which is, like, just... Homa's pretty good. If you were to, like, turn this into... just put her on a 20 base attack. 164. 117. That is, like, an abnormally low amount of attack. I think at level 90, her attack is, like, 150 base or something. I think it's, like, 100 lower than, like, Diona's. Or some weird shit. So...
And Diana?
Yeah, Diona's base attack is...
Diana doesn't even do anything with attack.
Nope, but it's still higher. Just to give you an idea, like, they have really... They have lowered Hu Tao's base attack by a ton. Okay.
Yep.
Anyway, so I guess the question is, if you were to build Hu Tao right now, would you have options for a Sands? Let's look at your Seawaff Sands. You got an EM1, 20 crit damage. So you could use this, right? If you didn't use this, definitely not this. No. No. Probably not, unless it hit crit like a million times. No. So, you probably wouldn't play Hu Tao and Diluc at the same time. They'd probably just share pieces. You could definitely run this. If you didn't, you wouldn't have a Sans. Are you okay with, like, tagging builds between Hu Tao and Diluc?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll probably use Eula in one half of his, so
Yeah. That is very reasonable.
don't need one each side.
Didn't you have a Hu Tao build? Like, we may be missing, like, we may try every feather and flower and they're shit, but overall, you have a Hu Tao build. Like, you're good. So,
Awesome.
we don't have to keep...
Thank you very much.
Yeah, absolutely. So we don't have to keep going for Seawaff. Let's just sort by, Pyro Goblet? Let's see, we got some options. We got crit rate EM here. So, like, yes, you have a Pyro Goblet as well. Now, how good the build is, won't know until we level artifacts all the way to 20, right? But at the baseline, you have a good build. And, I'm really excited to see if this can hit. So, Hu Tao set. So, what do you want to do with the rest of your, like, Strongbox fodder? Do you want to, like, go through and start leveling some emblem pieces and see how much more emblem you would need to set up, like, your double Hydro for Hu Tao, for example?
Silly churl, Billy churl, silly Billy, hilly churl.
Maybe. Can I see the grid of my characters?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just so I can see more.
Absolutely.
What's the one that comes with Veritas and Veteran? Maiden's Beloved, right?
Toodaloo.
Yeah, we can,
Yeah, for him.
if you don't want Maiden Beloved stuff, we can absolutely strongbox your Distant Venerer. Like, that is not a bad use of time.
Wait, yeah, do you want to have a look at Barbara and Chi-Chi, see if I should?
Yeah. So the core of it is that Maiden isn't bad, but it's also not, like, great. Like, so for Chi-Chi, she heals so much that Ocean Hued is often better. Barbara tends to burst heal once, so she'd get less out of Ocean Hued. I don't know if you're on... If you're on for Beloved, I think you're probably fine. Chi-Chi I'm not going to look, because you have Ocean, and I think Ocean beats Maiden for her. Let's look at Barbara's stuff, though. We got 3 ER rolls on Sands. HP main, obviously, like, 20 it, but, you know, that's pretty self-explanatory. Healing bonus, onset, great. And then we got 2 ER subs, and we got ER sub and 2 HP subs. I mean, I don't think you need to farm Maiden at all. Even if you wanted to use Maiden, like, I think this is fine. I think farming for, like, the little efficiencies on damage dealers is worth doing, but on healers, it's kind of like, as long as they're there, whatever luck you get is what you get. You just, like, you level their talent, you put all their artifacts to 20, and they'll do their job. So.
Yeah, just dodge.
Just dodge lol. Yeah, I mean, like, hate to say it, but, yeah. So, yeah, I think Viridescent Venerer is a good strongbox. I'm going to refresh myself on where we're at. I know the Kazuha build is, like, not really there, not too much, but, so ER, defense, HP attack, we have... Yeah, so we basically, like, you basically need, like, a Kazuha build from scratch, because it's mostly just, you have 4 Viridescent Venerer Smile. Like, that's good enough. The Sans is good.
Yeah.
Obviously, like, having a bunch of damage stats is nice. Kazuha's scalings are pretty high, but Swirl Kazuha, like triple EM stack Kazuha, will often do as much damage, even just in single target, as crit Kazuha, and in AoE he'll do significantly more. So there isn't a justification for crit Kazuha unless you just want to do it.
Because crit Kazuha does anime damage, EM Kazuha does
everything.
Whatever other element.
The core is that swirls can trigger other reactions, and then they all apply Kazuha's EM. So, like, you swirl a Pyro and an Electro character, or a Pyro and an Electro enemy, they both hit each other in AoE, so they both take the, like, 2,000 anima damage from the skill, they both take, like, 6,000 swirl damage, and then they both trigger Overload and take 15,000 damage, and then overloads AoE. So, all of a sudden, your Kazuha skill has done, like, 40,000 damage, and most of it was reaction damage.
Okay, I need that, yeah.
Yeah. Reaction, yeah, that's good shit. We can run this. If we get an EM Sans, we should switch to Fav. If we don't, your options are more open. I would also probably not run Skyward Blade. I would just run Fav instead. Because what you really would run Fav for on Kazuha, like, you run it for both the energy recharge stat and for the passive. This is like a personal damage passive. But you don't care about the personal damage or the base attack. Obviously, Fav's base attack and personal damage is lower, but once you're committing to an ER weapon for Kazuha, it's always Fav, because this is the passive you care about. So, if we get an EM Sans on set, we're probably just going to switch. Zoop. There we go. We'll do the full 13 every time we send it. Okay. Well, I guess we'll keep that. Well, I guess we'll keep that. Like, realistically, yeah, EM is better for Kazuha exactly, but, like, okay.
This could get a Wander if I wanted to.
Yeah, I'm not gonna... Yeah. The difference between... I want to say the difference between, like, 4-piece Desert Pavilion and, like, 2 Animo bonus, 2 Animo bonus or whatever is, like, really small. So, like, it's substat dependent. So, yeah, this could be an on-site goblet for Wanderer. So, we're looking for... Yeah, we're looking for ER and EM. It looks nice, but because the circlet, like, you can't take attack percent circlets unless you have, like, a specific reason to on a character. There's no reason to on any of the characters that deal animo damage.
Okay.
We're gonna be a little picky at start with our substats. There's an EM sub. It's like we'll keep it locked. I don't think it's too likely. So probably only be used if you didn't have Fav Sword for some reason, like if you were a brand new account and had never gotten a Fav Sword. Just keep going. See what we do. I think we're running pretty low on fodder now. So we've burned through a whole bunch of it, which is good. So there's EM, no ER.
Yeah.
There's EM 4 line, so we can try to roll this and hit EM. Oh, there we go. That's what we're looking for. Great. So that's your Kazuha Feather.
Okay.
It's like that easy. Crit rate, EM.
Awesome.
It can be nice. Like, we're not going to use it on Kazuha, but it can be nice. Defense. Okay. Yeah, I mean, offset. Great. Great. Okay. Sure. Oh. We're getting the treatment where we roll a whole bunch of a DPS set and we get like very average pieces, and then we switch to a support set and we get like absolutely sick fucking crit pieces. Okay. Yeah, I mean, all right, sure game. Let's see, do we got more fodder? Oh yeah, we do. We have all the like 100+ pieces that we just rolled. Okay. We're gonna lock your... What the fuck? Okay, it's not even good, it just, like, looks good. But...
HP percent
yeah,
as well.
HP percent main on VV. Okay.
Oh,
Okay, well,
wait.
maybe you'll have a crit Kazuha.
Go back to the middle, third, so, yeah. HP. Energy recharge, crit. That could go to, offset Elon. Oh, no. Hydro damage.
This is the one where you can get crit main, so probably not. If it hit crit like every upgrade, maybe. Oh, you know what? Actually, you did get an onset Hydro Goblet. Sure, we'll save it. I don't think the odds are super high we'll use it, but you're right. That might be usable. And like seriously, that might be the option we go with. So we locked all the CWAF stuff. I don't remember. We looked at all the HOD stuff. Oh yeah. Okay, we did. No, you have good feathers. We don't need another one of those. Okay, cool. Right, probably the last one for VV. We're really looking for at least one EM main stat piece. Any slot just would make it a lot easier to set up this build.
Okay.
Fuck off. What? Fuck off. Oh, hey, okay. There's another feather, so you can roll a second one if you want to. Oh, there we go. Okay, so we got the flower, we got the feather. Defense, HP, I'm in pain. Okay, so you don't have to farm for double EM main, which is what you would need like on set to get a full triple EM set. It's really worth getting at least one. The less EM you have, the stronger each point of EM is. So your first EM like piece will make a bigger difference than like your second one.
Okay.
That being said, we can use your stuff on like emblem or on something else. It doesn't matter exactly like which one we go for. Just so let's take a look at your Kazuha stuff.
Where did that come from?
Like you don't. By the way, worth mentioning, Sucrose is very, very good. She's not as good as Kazuha in most teams, but she is very good. It's just, you don't have... It looks like you are not going to be playing two teams that won an Animo unit. Like, pretty much ever. You'll be playing 1 or 0, right? Because you have Eula, maybe you'll play a Dendro team at some point. You have Utao, which often doesn't use Animo, right? So, you don't need...
11-1. Oh, God.
Yeah. Point is, you don't need 2 VV sets. So... You only need 1. So, let's switch your stuff over to...
Switch it out.
Yeah. Oh. VV. It was... this one. And... was there a 4-line one? Or was it... Yeah, okay, this one. Right. Let's see. We don't have an EM main piece. Nice. So for Sands, you can just stay on this one. Like, this is fine. Honestly, the crit rate for Fav, you might just end up staying on personal damage build for now. Like, and that's not a problem. There is definitely a world where you just put this on him, level it, and then you can switch it to Scar later. And then because for some reason we have managed to get 0 EM main stat pieces, which is below average odds, we'll just offset something. So we can say, like, just sort by EM, see if you have anything 20'd. So we're looking for an EM ER piece, preferably. Okay, so it doesn't really matter what set this is. It's just an offset piece. So, like, let's see, we have like a 20 DM Sands. Great. We have one with ER that isn't being used. Great. So, like, that's your offset, and then we just go here and we put on sort by ER, then EM, and we sort by VV, and we just run whatever. Like, you don't want it to be an attack piece. You want it to be EM. If it's not EM, you don't really care. Like, crit rate is useful for proccing Fav, but yeah.
Okay.
So we're at like 350 EM right now. Put him on this. I think because I took you off an ER, yeah. So ideally you get this up to like 70 or 80. And then you're looking at like a very efficient Kazuha. Low EM, yeah, but that's a problem you can solve later. You'll still have an efficient Kazuha. So
Okay.
I think the last thing now is really just like leveling your pieces. Like leveling your pieces for the characters you have. So like setting up basically EM stuff. Or not EM, sorry, emblem stuff on your teams for your characters that you don't have like built. So like Yelan and Xingqiu, because they're for your Hu Tao team. We've kind of landed on like Hu Tao as your second character, is what it seems like to me.
Sure.
Okay. So Hu Tao's best team is Hu Tao, Yelan, Xingqiu, Zhongli, most of the time. The reason it would be the one I would recommend, and her best team, is not because it's, like, her single strongest on-paper team or whatever the hell. It's because it is the easiest team to, like, comfortably do what Hu Tao wants to do. There's a, like, massive margin of error. There's a massive margin of, like, you can have lower ER stats. You don't have to dodge everything because you're playing with Zhongli. You have double Hydro, so, like, your generation is better. Yeon and Xingqiu do a bunch of personal damage, so if you mess up your like dash cancels or your jump cancels or whatever, you're not missing out on too much. Your damage will be higher if you swap Zhongli for an Animo character, but you have to dodge everything. Your damage will be higher if you swap Yelan or Xingqiu for an Animo character, but you have to do your rotations perfectly, right? So it's like, you have options there to not run that team, but it's by far the easiest way to pick up the character and just like play her.
Alright. Cool.
If you do that, the easiest thing to do for Eula, because Eula's best team is also using Zhongli, you can run, like, most options as, like, an extra option. I think you're running Diona Official right now as your other two, or Diona Raiden. Yeah, Diona Raiden, right? That's what you're running?
Unlikely. I don't really use Diona.
Oh, not Diona, okay. So, you use Chi-Chi, don't you?
Maybe Chi-Chi or Barbara, yeah.
Chi-Chi or Barbara? Okay. So, yeah, it's like, your Eula team is kind of open, because it's pretty much just like, it's Eula, then any extra cryo character for, like, battery stuff, because it heavily lowers your ER requirements, and then, like, super conduct, and then, like, any defensive unit. So, her best team involves Zhongli, but, like, her second, third, fourth, and fifth best teams don't, and that's okay. Is, like, kind of the core idea. It kind of sucks to get interrupted, but you can run one of your other shielders. Like, you can run Diona, you can run Layla, you can run... I don't know if you have Layla, actually. But...
She's a 4-star, yep.
Oh, yeah, right, you said you have every 4-star. There we go. Point being... hell, you could even run Noelle if you really wanted to. Point being, you have a lot of options on the Eula team, so it's not a problem to swap Zhongli. But for Hu Tao specifically, running specifically Zhongli is very useful for a couple of reasons. The biggest one being that Hu Tao's one of the only characters where you actually need the shield to be that big, because you play at a very low health total, which means you get one shot if you don't have a shield.
She's designed to be less than 50%. Yep.
Yep,
Okay.
exactly.
And the weapon as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like so obviously, it's like such a telegraphed like way to play the character. And then of course her charge attack scaling is like very high for a CA. Just curious to see. Yeah, it'll take some talent levels. I mean, Hu Tao is a high investment character, right? Like, she really wants good stats to be paid off properly. She wants a good team, but she also pays off those returns like drastically. Where when you put big numbers into Hu Tao, she spits out 6-digit charge attacks, right? So,
Oh, very nice.
no, I think that's a pretty reasonable estimation. Is like if you run like Xingqiu Kazuha Zhongli or something, like you don't have to run an Anemo character. You can run double Hydro, you can run Zhongli, you can run Bennett. You have options. Core of it is that you can very consistently get up to like 80k charge attacks without like luck, right? Like without like god pieces. If you can get up to 200 crit damage, you're going to be putting up disgusting numbers. So
Okay. Awesome.
So, all of this to say, we're going to look, the characters we're going to put together builds for Yelan and Xingqiu. that's really where we're headed. So,
Yes, please. Yeah.
we're going to sort, or actually, we're not even going to sort. I'm just going to sort by emblem. We're going to take a look at your sands, goblets, and hats. We're going to see what our options are, and then we're going to start rolling feathers and flowers. So, not bad. We can get something better. This is EM, so we don't want to use this for Yelan and Xingqiu, because in these teams they are applying Hydro, not reacting with Pyro. So that Elemental Mastery won't boost their damage.
Okay.
It is likely that you won't need an energy recharge piece on either of them, because you have C1 Yelan and you're running double Hydro. So we're probably going to try for this, for Yelan. What is on this? Crit damage open stat? I think we're just gonna level this to 4 and see what it hits for like its other substat. Before I decide who I think would be better for it.
That's looking better.
It's like very mid, but it is on set.
I meant the scrolling.
Oh yes, we are cleaning up. We are cleaning up.
Yeah.
Okay, so for hats, Yelena sends with crit rate, so she's more likely to use a crit damage hat. And then this will probably be a Xingqiu piece. Although to be fair, Yelan does do more damage than Xingqiu, so if we only get one like really good hat out of this, we're probably gonna give it to her. Oh, there we go. Crit damage ER HP. Great. This one. Cool. So probably these will be her Sansing hat. Probably. Xingqiu.
Healing bonus.
Let's go. Probably using this, and then we're definitely going to put him on an attack sands unless we end up struggling with ER rolls. If we do, not a problem. Yeah, we have like 3 options. I'll just drop him on one for now, but like... And now we test your feathers and flowers. So we're just gonna +4 all the ones that could be good, and we're just gonna see what happens.
Great.
Probably what's going to happen is we're going to start burning through a lot of XP. By the way, we're probably going to have to start committing to stuff, and the pieces may not turn out great. It's okay. So let's try adding crit stats to the ones that are kind of like sitting on the back. Oh, we are actually out of research materials. Okay, that's fine. Oops. Well, that... Okay, I spaced out, but that's alright. My muscle memory was for the 3-star ones. Okay, let's go here. And how much better that's looking. We got a lot of XP, a lot of options. Not a lot of junk. Not a lot of spare stuff now, which is good. Well, I mean, this is getting
High
20.
XP.
Yeah, we're gonna level this a bit, just see what we do. But, I mean, double crit.
Mm.
CER. Yeah, defense. Crit upgrade, though. Okay, so we'll leave it here.
Defense.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alright.
This will be for whichever one of your Hydro characters ends up needing less energy recharge. Is going to take the piece with more crit value. Let's
Okay.
see. Do we have... Like... I might roll that. I might 4 that. See if we hit crit damage. It's for Yelan exactly.
Yeah, okay.
And only a maybe. This is like one of the least good pieces that I'm still willing to roll that we have here. Okay, then we got 2 more to try to +4. Do we have any spare +4 pieces that kind of suck? Yeah, this missed. This. It is dead. Very cool. One more. It is dead. Let's go. Okay. Gonna unlock that. And we'll go check the flowers. Oh, right, we have this. Okay. I mean, we can just... Okay, very cool.
Crit damage.
Love to fucking see it. Nice. Energy recharge. This one's hype. Okay. Okay. That's pretty good.
Yeah,
We like to see it.
okay.
This is going on somebody.
Keep rolling crit damage.
Yeah, I would love to see crit rate as well. It's nice to have it balanced
Well,
so you don't
yeah.
feel forced to lean too heavy towards pieces or towards like other substats. Also fine with that.
Yeah.
Also completely fine with that.
Yeah.
Yeah. No reason to burn the rest of your 4-star XP on this. It's a lot of XP. You can leave stuff at 16 for now while we're finishing putting together your builds. You can 20 stuff as you continue farming artifacts.
Okay. You probably take Yelan off that 16, put it on this one.
Yeah, honestly,
Use that as XP.
exactly. I think I'm going to do that right now. You're absolutely right. Yelan. Switch her over to this. Switch over to this. Yeah, we'll probably Yelan will be holding the better damage stuff.
Right.
My Yelan sits at about 150 ER on my double Hydro team, and I'm happy. So I'm gonna shoot for 150 ER for yours. That's the goal. If we go over that, that's like fine by a little bit. If we go over that by too much, we're probably looking to like maybe try to move some stuff around to get more damage in other ways. So Yelan's ER target's probably gonna be like 150-ish. For Xingqiu, I think like 175 to 185. But if we go over, it's not a problem for him. Because we can like, I don't know, it doesn't feel bad because we can like miss on sack swords. Speaking of, sorry Kirara, but we're gonna do this. This is very, very worth doing. You can put him on Skyward Blade if you feel like it, but like this will be more damage eventually, I think, but no, actually, no, it won't. No, sack sword is more damage. The core of it just being that, like, Xingqiu's skill just has such a high scaling. It's like 600% talent scaling. That the reset ends up being worth more damage than, like, base stats for most swords. Okay.
Alright.
So, let's get... let's just do... Yeah, let's roll some emblem pieces. First thing... Probably the sand. So let's try to...
So this is just attack, right?
Yeah, this is just attack for damage EM. I'm really hesitant to throw away like attack emblem sands, but it's not great. This is only CD EM and then 2 dead flat stats. Man, like honestly, on my account, I would keep it, so I'm gonna say we keep it on yours as well. Like, I would at least 8 it. but I'm just also desperate for emblem pieces. Crit rate HP, so maybe a Yelan piece. Oh
This
wait, no,
one,
it's attack
however-
main. Never mind. Just kidding. Yep. And then the one he's holding. This other one is probably the one I just plus forward. Oh, it's still locked. This is just fodder. Yeah. Where's it at? This. That's fine. We'll pick one. I don't even know if we'll pick one. We'll just say this is the better one because it has ER and the other one doesn't. Yeah. This is probably your Xingqiu stance. Your stats on Xingqiu are less important than your ones on Yelan and Hu Tao by like a wide margin, so... He does a lot of damage. He just does less damage than the two other characters on your team, because the two other characters on your team that deal damage are broken. Their scalings are too high. Most of Xingqiu's power comes from his, like, all the other things he does. Resistance, interruption, like, incidental healing, crazy batterying, consistency, all this other stuff, right? Let's see. We do need to put him on a feather of some sort. Going to prioritize, same thing we always prioritize. In order, crit rate, then ER, then crit damage. So we don't have, I think, a double crit piece. So the question is, like, CR or CD. Probably going to say crit rate. I think he... I mean, this is the whole idea of, like, if you're not running a crit weapon, your base crit is lower than your base crit damage by, like, a wide margin, so... Then we're on a Wanderer's Flowers. We're going to change that to... Oh, we didn't roll these yet. Let's do this. I was excited about that one. Would have been awesome if it had hit. Is this good, or is this... This is very dodge. Well, that's... CDER, but nothing else. I was really hoping some of our problems would just be solved. We'd just hit double crit on one of these, and then we could just commit it to Xingqiu. We may have to do the thing you have to do when you have a bunch of, like, +4 pieces that are all mid, which is just 8 all of them, lose a bunch of artifact XP, and then commit to one, which never is, like, fun, but is what it is. Let's see. Some of these are, yeah, okay. Get some very mid glad pieces we can get rid of. Love to see it. Death and Despair. I'm gonna unlock the ones without ER and use them as fodder for trying to hit double crit.
Okay.
Oh, stop that. I hate when it does that. Shit. Stop doing that. Yeah. Yeah. You too, game. You too. Let's go! That's fine. We've got a lot of good pieces. If we miss and Xingqiu's, like, feathers or flowers, like, incredibly mid, that's okay. Not happy about it, but
Okay.
the power of your account is not going to be ruined because we can't get a double crit. Yeah, so we just have, like, a bunch of options, basically. We'll just throw them on one of them. So we're looking for, like, crit damage ER attack. I think this is, yeah, these two, like, the best ones. And then this has higher rolls. So, there you go. There's your Xingqiu flower for now. You can keep these and just kind of, like, +8 them all. If any of them hit crit, that's the one you keep, and then you get rid of the rest and just level the next one, the new one. If we end up needing specifically crit rate, we can switch to this one. These are, let's see. We picked a hat. He's on a HP goblet? Okay. So, do we have an offset Hydro Goblet that we can use? We have the onset goblet. Yelan's on an offset one with no crit, so we need to replace that. We got ER, but nothing else. Crit onset, 1 crit offset, and attack, and then double crit offset. So, this one, if we've got like a +20 to piece that we were using as a placeholder, it's like an attack circlet. You just go.
Okay.
Okay, it's a Xingqiu piece because it hit attack and then it did it 3 more fucking times. Very cool. Let's see. Can we get rid
Crit
of?
damage.
Yeah, let's see. You can use this to get rid of some of your other spare 18 pieces. This is a 20, by the way. This is like, I'm not just doing this because we're hoping, or we're like trying desperately to set up an account or whatever. This is like a pretty comfortable 20. Okay, that's a hilarious amount of attack. That's fine. Xingqiu scales with attack. That's your Xingqiu piece. Ah.
Awesome. Okay.
How are we looking? So we're at 191 ER. Great. Your sack sword is pretty leveled. So we're just gonna level these pieces. But again, Xingqiu is not like, he's not your damage character in this team. He is the lowest of your 3 damage characters, so he's not going to be our priority for any more leveling. We just wanted to see what we could put together. Yelan is going to be using probably this, or like one of these two. Depends on whether she wants crit rate or crit damage once we get there. This is like kind of nice. 7 crit rate already. Sure. The core of it, I think, is that we don't have a great hat or something. Okay, so what I think I'm gonna do. Do we have an HP Sans? Because this is where the like kind of subjectivity of how worth having different pieces offset is, and that's very like set team dependent or account dependent. So we have 3 HP Sans. This one has 2 crit rolls and 3 ER rolls. This one has basically nothing. This one has ER rolls and nothing else. This has 3 crit rolls and it's onset. Okay. So, like, these are, like, similar value. Because 3 ER rolls is worth a lot, and then this doesn't really give her anything but crit, but it does have crit. It also has an open roll. And then we've got this, which could be quite good. I mean, as a base, I'm kind of happy with that. I don't really want to get rid of that. This is fine. This is fine.
Sorry, just 1 second. Barbara's, what was it, the flower?
Oh.
Yeah.
Barbara's flower or Sans?
The sands, yeah. Sorry. So I should swap that out for a better one for Barbara. Really.
No, it's
The
good.
ER?
It's good for Barbara too. You want the ER on Barbara. You just like actually, sorry. I don't know how much ER Barbara needs. But she probably needs at least some. Most
How
characters
much you dodge?
Yeah, most characters aren't balanced to use 0 ER. It's just you wouldn't, because it's Barbara, you don't feel bad about like taking pieces from her, putting them on other characters. Like, she's a healer. You don't need like the crit stats or like the efficiencies or whatever. She can take the leftovers.
Okay. So the other one
But you want
next to it?
this one is not good. This is just like it just kind of like missed on crit a bunch of times in a row. So
It also has flat HP, which is better than the other one.
it's slightly more healing, but if you need
Yeah.
0 ER on her. I don't know if she needs 0 ER.
That's alright.
Um,
Sorry, yes.
no, you're good.
I didn't mean to interrupt.
You're good. This is your account. You should ask anytime. That's a fair question. Like, oh, it has flat HP. Isn't that better? And the answer is, yes, as long as you need literally no ER. And maybe you do. And if you do need literally no ER, then you're good. But
You really need as much ER as the extra healing you need from after using a skill, or when a skill's on cooldown.
wait, run that by me.
The skill heals,
Skill heals. Yeah.
and then the burst heals. Right?
Yeah. So you only need to burst once per
You
skill
really need
cooldown,
that.
like in the middle of. Here, let's see. 32.
You really need the burst when the skill healing isn't enough.
Yeah, because typically your burst will just full heal, and like your skill will probably, since you have her like high investment, like talent wise, I want to say it'll probably heal enough that you don't need to worry about like bursting every time. So it's just like burst once every 30 seconds. The cost is 80, and she doesn't generate very many particles, but at the same time, like her C2 gives her a bit of energy or something. Oh wow, that is not a lot of energy. I guess she could give herself a little more energy back. Anyway, Barbara doesn't generate many particles, which is why I'm concerned for ER for her, but
Okay.
if you have never experienced a problem with Barbara, like ER-wise, then there's probably not a problem. Thank you, Barbara. Okay.
Yeah, that was probably the reason why I got used to not bursting.
Fair enough. That makes sense. I mean, if you're comfortable with just using your skill, swap her in for like 3 seconds, hit, heal your team a bunch, swap out. Okay. I don't think there's anything to do but just start leveling these Hydro Goblets and see how we do. Because really, I think we care more about crit rate than crit damage for her, and this already has an upgrade. But at its core, it's kind of just whichever one you hit more of is the better one. Oh my god, okay. Wow. Love to see that. That's so cool and depressing. And we go to the next one. Okay. Great. Very fun. Very fun. Very cool.
How many defense? There was 4, 3,
2
3 defenses. Unlocked it in 2
Yeah.
hits.
No,
Upgrades.
it was from +4 to +14. Upgrades every 4.
Ah, it was already +4.
Yeah.
Okay.
You know, we can.
Right.
They're both Sag, but it's kind of just like whichever stat you need more of. It's also more crit rate than it is crit damage, but it's onset. It's like I still want to keep both of them. This is the one that I wouldn't keep. Just unlock and move her over because this has no crit stats, and you do at least have some with crit. You have one with ER here if you need an ER one. So like, it's not drastic upgrades, but they are upgrades. HP is nice, but it is going to be less efficient than those like multiplicative crit stats.
Okay. Yeah.
Especially because we're going to be on an HP main stat sans. Honestly, man, it doesn't feel great to like dump a bunch of XP into these, but also we don't have an HP crit damage sans, so I'm thinking we're just gonna go. So again, the goal is to, hey, let's go. We hit a crit damage roll, and we hit, I think, yeah, we hit 1 ER, 1 flat defense, 1 crit damage. So overall, lucky. Not unlucky at the very least.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a...
Is that too much?
Yeah, it's too much. It's too much. I think +8. Here, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6. Yeah, there we go. Or wait, let's do 3 in case it like doubles. We're being efficient. Okay. Get rid of some crap poster piece that you have. Yeah. Wow, your pieces are attracted to flat defense. That is fine. Still good. Like, it's, well, okay. I don't want to say good because I don't want you to get like, when you start farming for efficient builds, I don't want you to be satisfied with like a whole bunch of flat stats and like 1 or 2 crit image rolls. But this is fine for now. Like, you do not have to worry about not playing this or something.
Yeah, okay.
I mean, like, unironically, Yo on build is kind of getting there. Let's... Okay, what are we at for ratio right now? Okay, so we're actually pretty low on crit rate. So do we have... Xingqiu's got a crit damage hat. We can just switch these, then, if we're actually low. I just want to see... So the only other one... Oh. No, I don't really want to use that VV piece. I think we just don't have enough crit. I think we need a crit hat. So let's hope this hits. I'm +4 this with something spare. I'll start getting rid of... Oh. Ah! No! I clicked off it on accident. I didn't do that. Start getting rid of some of the misses.
Okay.
Flat HP,
Not great.
not great. It is crit rate main though. I mean, light crit rate main. Okay, I think what we should do is level this, see what it hits. The more this hits into HP, the more likely I am to say just put this on Yelan. I think you're probably just putting this on Yelan anyway, to be honest. But also, we're definitely, this is a 20. Oh, baby! Oh, hell
Okay.
yeah! I think we're pretty happy with that. I think that is not a problem. Cool. Do you have like a plus 8'd piece down here? That's kind of crap. What's this? Crit damage.
Crit damage, yeah, attack.
Okay, and this is... Okay, here we go.
Attack, yeah. Mm.
Put us most of the way there. We can dump in a couple. Normally, it's not like the best idea to use artifacts for XP and so strong waxing, but it's also not bad. I definitely don't mind doing it. Like, you don't have to be worried about doing it.
Just gotta be careful of that. You know, pick one you do want to keep.
Yeah, absolutely.
Possibly.
We missed on the last upgrade. That's fine. Still a really, really good piece. Because it hit HP twice, I think we're just going to put that on Yelan. And Xingqiu will take the leftovers. Xingqiu will definitely just be on that bullshit. But, yeah, so, I mean, the only thing I would really do for Yelan is I would level this, like, 2 more times, probably. That's about it. And then just, like, 20 her pieces. But you don't really need to move anything around for her. The only thing is, this is a character where you are at the same point you're at with Eula now. Or, like, all you really care about is upgrades.
Awesome.
And the reason that we did this, leveling Yelan stuff over Hu Tao's, despite, like, technically Hu Tao is the main carry of this team, and she does do way more damage than Yelan, is because it helps us figure out what Xingqiu's build is going to look like. Because they use the same set, right? So, he's on this. This is probably his cup. These 4 attack rolls you can kind of equal out to a similar amount of damage to 2 crit rolls, give or take. So, this is, like, a pretty good piece. It's not insane, but, like, it would beat a piece that looked like this, but with 1 crit and no attack, right? 1 more crit and no attack rolls. You can put him... We're low on artifact XP, so I'm going to stop leveling stuff, but good. Like, again, the rule for this is just, like, ideally, you want to keep a 1 to 2 ratio, so whichever main stat hat you want that's better, you should use that. And then you want to keep his ER above that breakpoint of kind of 190-ish, so that he's guaranteed you're going to be bursting every time it's up. And then past that, fucking, like, if you can get a second crit stat, that's good. Not as relevant on him as it is on Yelan, or on, like, Zhongling or Raiden if you build them. Sans, he runs on the super basic rule of attack main, same thing, crit stats and ER. Same with his Flower and Feather. And even the same idea of, like, you just want to keep his, ratio good. It's like, I have no idea. Yeah. Obviously, they're really low. You haven't leveled, like, any of his pieces, right? So you have no idea what his ratio is going to look like until you start leveling pieces to, like, 12 and 16.
Yeah,
but he's already able to be played, right? Because you have the ER breakpoint, you have him level 70, you have his talents, his burst talent at 6, you have his weapon at 70. So, like, we're getting there, right? We are genuinely getting there. Hu Tao stuff, we were pretty choosy about the Sans, which we already 20'd, is that right? Yeah. Oh no, this was the one that you had. And then, I want to level this right now because I want to see if it'll go fucking insane. That would be so cool. It would be so cool. Yeah, this is the Hydro Goblet with nothing. Go! Oh my god!
Oh, okay.
Okay! And we post this in the Discord and flame everybody who has bad Hu Tao hats.
So do I care about the flat attack HP?
No, it's...
44 Elemental Mastery? That's...
Elemental
right.
Mastery, very good. Yes, Hu Tao very much wants EM. Even with an EM circlet, you still are very happy with that. Ideally, the perfect piece here is that one of these is HP percent, and then one of them is ER. But, like, 4 crit rolls, 4 crit substats on a crit main stat alone is, like, onset is, like, really, really hard to get.
Oh, yeah.
This is your high roll piece. pretty much. This is like the best piece that we've gotten so far. It's crazy. It's super, super good. If you get an upgrade to this, you're just too good at the game. This is like fine. It's like a very, very like acceptable, like functional piece. You can get an upgrade for this. And then your flower and feather, like, you need to go through and like same thing that I did, right? +4 the feathers, see if you can hit double crit. If you can't hit double crit, +4 the ones that have a crit stat, see if you hit crit, right? You're looking for anything that has a base of enough crit that when you put a bunch of resources into it to upgrade it, at the bare minimum, you at least have something usable, even if you miss a bunch, right? Like we were talking about with Hu Tao, you want to prioritize crit rate over crit damage, because I'm going to assume, even with a maxed out crit hat, yeah. Like, we just full leveled a crit hat, and you still need crit rate, like, badly, right?
Yeah.
So, feathers and
She
flowers...
sends on crit damage, and the weapon is crit damage.
Yeah, she's gonna end up with, like, 100 extra crit damage, because that's... She's one of the only characters built like this, and it's because of her C6, but,
Okay. Oh. I remember that.
Anyway. Yeah, feather and flower work the same. Crit rate beats crit damage, which is about equal power to EM, which beats HP, but HP is good. Actually, rephrase. I would say crit rate is the most important one, and then under that, in about equal power, is crit damage, EM, and HP. HP may even be more important, because your Sans main stat is EM. So, like, if you can find HP substats, that's really, really valuable.
Okay.
It's kind of the rule of, like, diminishing returns. When you get... The less you have of one of your scaling vectors, the more powerful it is to get it. Yeah, you're at a pretty good EM total. Like, typically I think Hu Tao shoots for about 250 with an EM Sans. 250, 200 to 300-ish, depending on how strong her build is, and all that. So, like,
Awesome.
may even be a little low on EM compared to HP. Okay. Party Sim. That's... I was looking for, like, the team builder from Star Rail. I don't know why. Okay.
Okay, yeah.
So, what are... Can I pick 2 team slots to just, like, change?
You can do them all if
Okay.
you want.
So, I'm just gonna do a couple. So, I'm gonna do, like, these bottom 4. So, the Electro unit that I'm slotting into these Eula teams can be Fischl or Raiden or something else if you feel like it, realistically. Like,
The threads of your fate lie in my hands.
Eula teams are relatively open to, like, options.
Okay.
I would personally probably run this plus, like, any 4th. I think her 4th is pretty open. Like, anything that gives a consistent buff would be nice. So, like, Yelan or Rosaria. You could run Raiden, which immediately means that no one on your team needs ER ever, because you have, like, double off-field particle generators. You could run Chi-Chi for even more safety, or Xingqiu for resistance interruption, or, hell, you could run the Fischl Beidou core. You could play Beidou for resistance interruption, right? Like, this 4th slot is very open. It's kind of just whatever you want to run in Eula teams most of the time. Hell, I'll put Barbara in, right? Like, oh wait, this is the rational core. Whoops. I was on the wrong team setup. Whatever.
I'll scout ahead.
Am I blind? Yes. What? What did I just do? So the point of this is to show you, like, 5-star options, 4-star options. These are, like, Eula things you can do. There are more Eula things you can do, but those are, like... It kind of shows you, like, these are the core components that you tend to look for to Eula team.
Okay.
So this would be your Hu Tao team. Hu Tao's best team by like a mixture of like comfort and access and kind of the requirements that I was rolling for
Who's our
is
targets
this.
this time?
Yeah.
Rational is like very similar. It's
The campaign
This-
begins.
and then your child international team is this.
Come on.
So
Don't
obviously
keep
we
me
didn't roll
waiting.
stuff for these, but this is just to show you like this is what these team comps look like. And then last one is yes. If you ever wanted to build a taser of any sort, it's like you can put any electro carry like in the slot. So like Kaching, Yai, Beto can all fit here. If you play Beto specifically, you're always running Sucrose. If you play Kaching, you're almost always running Kazuo. If you're playing other characters, you can run. That's where you get into like the creativity. You can do like quick bloom stuff with DMC, whatever. But like the standard like taser team is like Hydro Healer, Electro on field, Animo official.
All right, let's head off.
And then I guess the last thing would be like an aggravate team. Which would probably look like Raiden. Either Kazuo or Bennett here. You can do either or both. Like any combination of. We put DMC in for any of these three characters, basically.
You want me on your team?
And so, like, if you want stuff to build towards that isn't just the shit we rolled, those are all options that are, like, very competitively playable. These are just... We basically strongboxed to clean up your inventory and to give you a bunch of stuff to do for a team that will clear Abyss. And this team will fucking clear Abyss. Actually, just out of curiosity. I'm on level 3.
I cleared it, so you would have to.
Floor 1, chamber 1?
Let's try to do Hyper Bloom Circus, yeah.
Oh, yeah, gotcha.
And then that's floor 12. Can you can, because I did
Yeah, you did.
floor 11.
Floor 11.
You did actually finish that. That counts. Okay.
Busted. Game's up. Fun's over. Ring cutter. Time to act.
Solidify!
Time to go.
Rise! Order guide you.
So imagine the Pearl,
Gotcha. Quietly.
he's making this not.
Rain out.
Yeah, breaking the pearl is hard.
Body and
But
mind.
anyway, point is, what I wanted to do was I wanted to jump in, do a rotation, and show that the bursts were back up. Make sure that I got ER minimums down.
Oh, okay.
So we are slightly overcapped on ER on both our characters, but that's not like inherently an issue because eventually you will get pieces with like more crit and less ER, and you can like kind of tag stuff out, and then you'll 20 your pieces and you'll see more ER subs, that kind of thing. You also saw, because this guy takes like 30% damage or something from Pyro when he has the shield on, but we were still putting up like 5Ks, charge attacks or whatever it was, 5-10Ks, and like
Gotcha.
half your Hu Tao stuff isn't even leveled, you're at like 18k HP, you know?
No, my sword.
Like if I just press buttons, you
Fingers are
can look at the
about to get
numbers.
dicey.
Stabilize!
Yeah, your crits are like 7k already, right? And that's with like 30% damage dealt on a level 95 boss with like half the investment you want, right? That team already, with like no other investment, can probably clear everything in the open world that doesn't block its damage with shields. So.
Alright.